big.
Right?
I'm losing my boner.
Are we rolling profiles?
Yes.
This one?
Yes.
That one?
Yes.
That's fucking good. That's the way I like it. Welcome back to your mama's favorite podcast, baby. This is the Go Deeper podcast where we go deeper, go home. Today on the podcast, returning guest, one of my favorite people in the world, and I say that with the utmost sincerity as I can. Baby, my boy Fred in the house again. How are you doing today?
Yeah.
Good to fucking see you, my friend.
Happy to be here.
Dude,
you know,
I'm fucking so happy to have you back in the studio. You brought some motherfucking what?
I brought some Cayman Jacks because I was like, well, they are. Listen, they are margaritas. I don't want to make this a whole thing. All right.
That's all right.
But
I've done my fair share of margarita-ing in my life.
Yeah, dude. Like, the worst is getting blackout drunk on margarita stuff like this because it's all malt liquor.
Yeah.
And so you just like wake up the next day.
The morning after is just ass.
Yeah.
Straight cheeks.
It's absolute hell. Yeah.
Wait, are these different flavors? I'm looking
at
these
are
different.
All different flavors.
Tangy tropical margarita. We got grilled pineapple margarita.
Yeah.
Sweet heat peach. Okay.
Then, this is a spicy lime.
Which one are you going for?
I don't know, dude. I figured. Well, I got the cup, so I figured we'd just try all of them and see which ones are dog shit. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, we feeling? I don't know, dude.
Boom, 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 boom.
You gotta pick one. I'm like.
Grilled pine.
Grilled pine, dude.
Grilled pea.
Well, Cayman Jack. Grilled pine. Oh yeah.
Yep, that's that redneck maiden call right there. If you could, please, sir.
Oh yes.
Fill up some of my Toby Keith receptacle.
Dude, I can fucking smell it already. It's
Seriously?
gnarly.
You sure it's not just profiles?
Fuck you.
It smells gnarly.
Looks like an Alka-Seltzer.
It does look like alcohol. It looks.
I know. Don't.
It looks like Charles's cum chata, dude. Is what it looks like. It does. It looks. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it looks vaguely like cum.
We have to drink this now, don't we?
Whatever, dude.
All right.
I live in Portland.
We live in Portland.
It's
not the worst.
What the fuck?
It's not the worst thing I've ever had. It has a weird 5-second afterkick.
Dude, it has that weird back taste to it.
Well,
I guess that's the grilled part of it.
that's the grill.
Yeah.
I tasted pineapple off the bat, but then they grill you 5 seconds later.
Yeah. Here at Cayman Jack Distilleries, we care about one thing about our grilled pineapple margarita. Putting a 100% genuine metal grills.
And then at the
That's
last
fucking
second,
weird, man.
And at the last second, make it look like Charles Cum. Shout out my man Charles, too.
Yeah, dude.
From the DAOC and from the MFA.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out Marty, too, as well. He was going to come, right?
He was going to come. He has to work swing shift. Getting trained on a new machine, I guess. I don't know. I think that's just code for him just eating Arby's alone in a parking lot.
Hey, that sounds fun, bro.
He's got a very I eat Arby's alone kind of body,
I mean, I sympathize with you. Marty.
I'm in the peak shape of my life.
This is the elite male performance body.
Yeah.
Let's go. This one's called.
According to who?
If you really want
According to profile.
if you really want to see the next last episode.
The last episode, I take my shirt off.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah that's true.
Little tangy tropical dude.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Tangy Trop. I'm just gonna stop describing what they look like.
This.
I don't like the smell of that one.
If you put your dick in a mousetrap and then decided to bust a nut, this would probably be the same consistency and color.
He's not wrong.
I don't know from experience, dude. Stop asking. You guys are fucking out of your mind. Oh, man. I like that one less. I like that one way less. That one's gnarly. I'm going to put this one low end.
Yeah,
this is kind of more mid.
Moving on.
That's
I'd rather get kicked in the grills than drink that again.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I nervous for the spicy lime, though?
I don't know. I think we would say that one for last.
Yes.
Sweet heat peach.
Sweet heat.
Yeah, dude, that thing is fucking. I don't know, dude.
We also have, if these all kind of turn out to be just ass.com, we have beers in the fridge. Like normal people beers.
Normal people beers. Not like honestly, dude, if you're bringing Cayman Jack fucking spicy margaritas to an actual party, dude, you deserve to get at least kicked.
Yeah, you're going to get
Like,
roasted at that party.
yeah.
You're going to get roasted at that party.
Like, oh, did you bring your fucking purse too?
Yeah.
I was like, I was gonna get regular beers. I was, and then I was like, that sounds kind of interesting. It'd be kind of fun.
It's a good podcast fucking conversation, dude.
Yeah.
And then it's the fucking mix and match, choose your flavor.
Yeah.
Speaking of this, heat peach, sweet heat
Yeah.
peach. I've never had a sweet heat anything, so.
Dude, he spits it out.
I took a little bit too big of a sip.
That's bad. That's very bad. That tastes moldy to me.
Oh.
Have you ever smelled mold? That smell.
That's I like that. I like that better than I like that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where do you rate that in the span of the 3 so far?
That's last for me.
That's last.
That's last for
Oh
me.
man.
I smell every single one of these fucking things, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they smell, dude. It's weird. I guess let's get rid of this.
Let's fucking send it, dude. Spicy lime.
Yeah.
Spicy lime.
I think that one's gonna taste better than the other one.
I'm hoping so, because the other ones haven't been very cool.
Yeah, no, it's been.
This is on, and the one that looks the most like a drinkable drink so far too. It looks like Sprite.
It does. It smells like Sprite.
Really? It smells like fucking Sprite. It looks like Sprite. It smells like Sprite. Does it taste like Sprite?
You guys haven't made a terrible. Oh, never mind. He liked it.
It's.
I'd say it's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
It has to be my favorite one.
It. I'd have to agree, but it tastes like you're drinking Pine Sol. Not that I know what drinking Pine Sol tastes like.
Did you ever? You might not. There's a little, and it's gonna sound fucking racist, but a little Mexican candy that's a white powder, and they sell them in baggies about this big, and they taste like lemon. They're white powder. They're called limoncietes. Have you ever had those?
Oh, bomb.
Fucking fire, right? This tastes like if you put a limonciete powder sugar in your Sprite. That's what this tastes like.
Can't relate, dude.
I was like, do you know? Actually, you might not.
You guys ever heard of Babe Ruths? I like Babe Ruths. Those are cool.
ever had a Toblerone bar, man?
All right, dude. I'm not. Listen, I'm fucking white, but I'm not like.
You ever had a Charleston Chew, man?
Let's go get the Toblerone. Let's go out to the mountains.
Dude, I've had the Toblerone. Those are pretty fucking good.
Yeah, dude.
I'm half white. So
Yeah, dude.
that's that part of me speaking real loud.
The joke that I have for the network for Comedy Chaos as a whole for the podcast was like, I should just do a show with Armando called The Whitest Mexican.
Yeah, it'd be me.
It would be me. It would just be you.
I found somebody way worse than you.
Really?
He's my coworker.
At Panda Express.
Yes. He is Mexican with Filipino, and he looks like like him.
No way.
Yes.
A Mexipino.
Yes.
No way.
And he'll surprise you.
Does he ever just hit you with like hard S bombs or anything like that?
You know what an S-bomb is?
Please, for the people.
I could say it, right?
Don't ask me, dude.
I'm asking you for can I say the?
Well, listen, as apparently I'm fucking white. What are you asking
Hey man,
me
is
for?
it cool? You won't get offended, right? If I say that, I think the word you're referring to is spick.
Oh, spick.
Yeah, did you ever just drop that on you?
I'll beat his ass.
But you never dropped it on you, dude? Mm-mm. Oh, damn, see.
So you're not
Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know the power he holds, dude.
I show him my power.
Fucking shit. Fred, real quick before we get too deep, I
Yeah.
fucking forgot to do it off the bat.
Yeah.
Where can we follow you? Because you got a couple
Yeah.
podcasts.
You can
and
follow me at I Hunt the Haunted on Instagram and Twitch. Yeah, I stream 4 days a week. Go check that out. I have 2 podcasts. I have Haunts, Graves, and Omens at HGO Podcast. And I have the Doc, which is the Doc Com Pod, I want to say. And then it's all part of the Comedy Chaos Network, but also has an Instagram.
Oh, that has an Instagram as well, and that's the name of the YouTube channel is the Comedy Chaos Network, where you guys upload all of your podcasts.
All the podcasts, sketches, fucking gameplay videos that we did,
dude,
which was a fucking nightmare. Oh, dude, so when me and Marty first came up with the idea to do gameplay, because I was like, it'd be really fun to like under the Haunts, Graves, and Omens blanket do like HGO gaming.
Right. Oh, I do remember seeing that.
Yeah, because I was like, that'd be kind of fun. We could play scary games, and then we can it'd be this fun thing. And I don't know why, but in my dumb brain, I was like, he's going back, dude. I was like, what if for an episode, you drink as many beers as you can. Like, say you just drink like
I'm fucking down.
6, 7 beers.
It sounds like a good time.
Well, enough beers for him to get drunk. And then I'll take a bunch of mushrooms, and then we try to do a Left 4 Dead 2 speed run.
A what?
A Left 4 Dead 2, the game, Left 4 Dead 2, the zombie game.
Okay.
Do that while completely fucked up and see if we can beat it. We got about 15 minutes in before I was like, I'm so fucking high. And I was like, I have to go home. No, dude, I was fucked. I like went in the bathroom. You ever thrown up on mushrooms?
No.
Oh,
I've never done mushrooms.
Oh, dude,
I'm too much of a pussy.
Mushrooms are great.
Really?
I fucking love mushrooms.
I put them on my pizza all the damn time.
Oh, these mushrooms are way cooler, dude. these are the kind of mushrooms that like when you're like watching Family Guy, they come out of the TV. And you're like, hell yeah, that's awesome. It's
3D glasses without the glasses.
Yeah, dude. It's awesome, but when you're puking on a hallucinogenic, it fucking blows.
Why?
Like,
what happened?
How many times have you puked while drunk?
Handful,
right? And you're probably super fucked up, and then like the world's spinning.
Yeah, it's ass.
And it's like that.
It's not fun.
Now imagine it's a full body, violent high, and instead of the room spinning, like completely spinning, the walls are fucking breathing.
Okay, yeah.
And then you're just like praying to the porcelain god, and you're puking, and then you're just like,
you just
look down, and it's like, feed me, Seymour, and you're like, oh, dude, it's
you're
fucking
just donating your esophagus to the toilet.
Yeah, no, oh, dude, yeah, but yeah, I've taken a lot. So I used to get these squares, and it was a big square, and it had like 4 smaller squares that made one big square, and each one of those big squares was a gram.
Oh, okay.
And
so 25% of a gram.
Yeah, and so I would take, on average, 3.5 grams.
So like 3 squares?
3 big
and
squares. Yeah, three big squares.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, it was a decision. But I had bought a shitload, and I was fucking tripping, and I was like, I want more and more, and just make it more and more intense. And Taylor, because like I was counting it by piece, and so Taylor just goes like, "What number is that for you?" And I go like 14, and then she's like, "You're done," and I was like, "Believe me, I'm fucking done." And I laid down in bed, and I started to have the beginning of a bad trip, which is very rare for me.
I think you've said this. Is it the one with the picture of your dog?
Yeah.
Yes.
The dog starts to morph out, dude, and I was like, fuck. And I'm staring at it, and then the moment of clarity comes over where I'm like, hey, man, you're totally safe.
Yeah.
You're with your loved one. You're having a great time. You're watching a show that you like. You're safe. And I was like, I am safe. And then a voice back in my head was like, now sink. And it just fucking the whole ceiling's been like full like haunted mansion, like.
Oh my god.
And it was the best.
That's where I would trip.
Meanwhile,
That's where I'd be scared.
Taylor's next to me, and she's like, why is the ceiling fan so big? And I was like, the ceiling fan's big? I haven't looked up on the ceiling in, I don't know, 3 years? Because time moves differently.
Yeah.
Because you're tripping fucking balls, and you're like, I have been tripping balls for at least an hour. And you're like, it's been 10 minutes. And you're like, fuck.
So time also elongates when you're tripping
on
mushrooms?
Dude, it's just weird, yeah. And then you close your eyes and try to go to bed and you get kaleidoscopes, dude. It's awesome.
That sounds like a fucking nightmare to me, bro.
Oh no, it's the best, dude. The post day.
That's loud when you do that. When you put them like that, put it over here.
No, the post day hangover blows, like for mushrooms.
The mushroom hangover.
You gotta hydrate like a motherfucker, and then you'll feel fine. But like the way you feel for like the week or two after is the best, man. just boosts all your serotonin in your brain.
Really?
Makes you feel super
So
good.
you get past the hangover, then after that you feel good?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, you feel pretty good the next day because, like, it's a very moving experience. The first time you do it, especially if you do it right, and like, because the biggest part about doing mushrooms is getting past that initial stage of like, I'm gonna throw up, because you're effectively eating poison.
Right.
It's poison, and your body's like, this is poison. We have to get it out. But if you fight past that stage, and it starts to kick in.
Then
It's smooth sailing, dude.
Then you start fucking having a good time and
it's the
realizing,
best.
all right, we're here, buckle in, let's fucking see what this is all about.
Best, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Nice and content.
This is the best.
This is the best. You feel just the most amount of peace possible.
I don't know,
It's the
man.
fucking best, man.
I don't know. I go fishing for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't, dude. I'm a fucking pause. This is how much of shit that I don't even smoke weed, bro. Like,
Yeah.
beer's my thing. Like, that's
Yeah.
the last episode. Shout out to my man Brandon from the RCF boys. We were just podcasting just like this, bro.
Yeah.
Drinking, bullshitting, and he busts out his in, and he's like, "Do you in?" I'm like, "Nah, but give me one," you know. And he's like, "There's 6s." I'm like, "You don't got 8s, bitch?" Like,
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, man." And he gave me one, and I'm like, "What do you do? Do you chew it? Or you fucking under your tongue?" He's like, "Nah, man. Your fucking lip. Your fucking top or bottom. You choose." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Gay, but okay."
Yeah. Upper decky, lower decky, dude. It's up to you.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
lower deck it right here,
Yeah.
and chilling, bro, for like another good 2 minutes, probably. You know, hell yeah, and then
Oh, yeah.
I was fucking tripping, but I almost shat myself on the podcast. Dude. We had to take a break.
Yeah.
He was like, "Can I go pee?" And I'm like, "Can you please go pee? I want to stop for a second." It was fucking bad, and that was just a zin, a 6,
Yeah,
a 6
dude.
zin. So
You should try heroin. I think that's the next.
That's a good stepping.
Yeah.
That's a good stepping. stool
Everyone
right there.
knows that Zins are the stepping stool to
Heroin.
doing hard drugs.
Straight black tar in
Yeah.
your veins.
Yeah. Actually, when I went to go buy these 3 milligrams, he was like, "Want to try Hawaiian ice?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." Yeah.
I can't fucking. You stupid motherfucker. Dude, talk to me about the fucking new studio that you guys are
Yeah.
building. The new fucking studio,
I'm
dude.
building a new studio.
Fucking A.
It's fucking huge.
Bro, the fucking one that you guys were in was tits as fuck. I
was
thought it was
tits.
cool because you guys were like changing sets behind you as fucking new podcast was coming along.
So we went from the dock being the permanent set to Hans Graves and Omens being the permanent set because we use Hans Graves and Omens more. You know, just because Marty and Charles both have a job together now.
Right. Oh,
So
they're not
they're-
airporting it anymore?
No.
Oh,
So
wow.
Marty doesn't work at the airport with me anymore. Charles, I don't know if he's still dashing or not, but now he's working with Marty.
Nice.
And so we're figuring out time for the dock. But I was like, we do HGO every week.
Right, yeah.
And so
That
I
one's
was like,
pretty
it
consistent.
makes the most sense
To have
to
the-
use that as the primary set. But it's been really fun to like rig everything and like coming up with new ideas for like what do we want to have as decor. Like, do we want to just have it just kind of be just blacked out and just very ominous, you know? And kind of we have like our altar at the front that we always have with our
Yeah.
sugar skull and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I have like 3 more sugar skulls, so I'm probably gonna blind them across the front and
Fuck yeah,
make this whole big ass thing. But with the dock, it's been it's been really fun because like now I'm at the stage where I have bought so much new shit, and like we have a dedicated PC for podcasting
Nice.
that strictly does recordings
Nice.
and editing and all that stuff. So there's no more like, oh, we gotta go upstairs, we gotta go back upstairs and do this
Right.
and this, and just like whatever. Now it's just like everything's on there. Don't have to worry about it. We have this little station set up. We have the full bar downstairs.
Excuse
So
me.
yeah, we have full bar downstairs. It's
Speaking my language.
yeah, it's been down there. I put the first day I moved in. It's the first thing I built.
Oh,
So
shit.
I was like, got that, and then like it's just been this fun ride because now we're kind of starting to come up with ideas for the dock, and we're like, well, what do we want to do? Because before we had our painting,
Yeah.
you know, we have our painting. It's like, yeah, of course the painting is going to be up somewhere in the studio.
Yeah.
We'll be like, you know, maybe on the ceiling or something like that. Be like, yeah, we're going to do the dock. We talked about like, well, we could paint another dock one. It'd be kind of fun. And some of the ideas we've come up with have just been dumb. Of like, how I did for the HGO logo, where I hand painted the logo,
That is
made
insane.
it look a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
That's 3 feet by 3 feet. It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could do that really nice on a nice white backdrop,
Mm-hmm.
and then we could just take it outside and spend like an hour just spray painting it, and just drawing giant dicks on it, you know, whatever we want. And I was like, I don't know, dude, because We'll see. We'll see what
I
happens.
mean, that's still a possibility. You
Oh
know?
yeah, no. There's. I wouldn't be surprised knowing the MFA boys that there's at some point there's going to be some sort of dick on a wall.
I feel like Charles wouldn't be complete unless there's at least one dick on there somewhere.
Speaking of MFA, they had their album release show for their new record.
Dude, I wanted to. It was on a Friday, right? A couple Fridays ago. I wanted to go so bad, but I forgot. I think I was doing a pod here and it ran late or something. So, sorry guys. I tried to go. I really tried to make it out.
It was the fucking best. I got up on stage with the boys twice. Got to rip it with them. It was the best. I'm on their new song, "Bring Down the Sun."
No fucking
so that's
way.
fun. But yeah, it was just really funny because like we had like coworkers that have worked with me and Marty come out, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "They're throwing dildos and shit." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah, I forget you guys never been to an MFA show. This is just it.
MFA show. That's how it gets.
It's just anarchy. Yeah, it's just anarchy. There's dudes kissing dudes, people punching each other in the nuts. It's like, dude, it's insane.
Just shit off the wall.
Yeah, somebody kicking somebody. Like it's anarchy. It's the best, dude. Absolutely.
I might go to the next one. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
No, I gotta go. You don't know until you experience it. So you gotta fucking go and check that shit out.
It's always a blast. It's always just super, just insane.
Fuck, dude, that's fucking
you're
dope.
like-
I fucking wish I could have gone. I
Should have went, dude.
kicking myself in the fucking puss for not going.
Anna designed their new album artwork.
You did?
Yeah. Actually, fucking, that's what I fucking forgot.
Fuck.
I was
Send
gonna
it to
bring
me.
you. I was gonna bring you a
plug it
CD.
in. Send it to me.
Yeah.
Do you have like a file of it?
I have. It's on Spotify.
Oh no shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I can screenshot that shit.
Yeah, dude. I'll send you a link. It's the shit.
Dude, that's fucking shit. Is that okay? Because I know you play in a band / bands. Is that one of them that you?
No. It was kind of more like they were like, well, Marty was like, do you want to put vocals on this? And this was like almost a year ago, and I was like, yeah. Why not, dude? So I went out there to the house that I now live at, which you've been in, but I went into the old podcast room, which you've been in, which wasn't a podcast room at the time. And Marty and Charles there, first time meeting Charles.
No fucking way.
And that's how the doc kind of started. And we were just like, I was like, what do you guys want me to do? And they're like, I don't know, metal stuff. And I was like, that's not a fucking direction. I need a direction to do vocals. Like, do you want me to do highs? Do you want me to do lows, mids?
Right.
Do a mix? Do you want me to do, whatever? Look, whatever. And I was like, fuck it. Just did that. And they were like, that was sick. And I was like, cool. A year later.
And that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, so the album is out now.
It's out now.
People can go and fucking download that shit.
Yeah.
Name of the album?
It's the Post-Apocalypse Depression.
Post-Apocalypse Depression is by the MFA. The MFA stands for?
The Motherfuckers of the Apocalypse.
Goddamn right, motherfucker. So you make
best,
sure to go
dude.
check that shit out. I didn't know it was out like that. I'm gonna fucking download that shit tonight. Do you know if it's Apple Music?
It's on everything.
Can you put one song?
Yeah. I'm sure I can.
Shit.
My phone?
Phone is right here.
Motherfuckers
Well, is your... Well,
of the how you spell apocalypse?
I'm not going to tell you. How old are you?
That don't matter, man.
I'm gonna try the MFA.
You don't know how to spell the word apocalypse? What do you mean?
Is it? That's not
Sound
it.
it out.
That's not it. Oh, here it is. Like Glass House Blasphemy all the way into something
Yeah.
beautiful. What song should I play?
I mean, Bring Down the Sun's clearly the best. It's the one I'm on.
Is that the one you're on?
Yeah. I'm at the very end, though.
Bringing Down the Sun, the MFA.
So when we did the album release show, I actually sang all of Marty's parts.
Really?
Yeah. So it's very fast.
That's Marty.
That's all Marty.
Oh,
Huh?
Is this the guy with the glasses?
Yeah. Yeah.
shit.
That's Marty. If you skip to... Oh, shit.
No, I skipped to when?
Fucking about like 3/4. Let's see. Hold on. Right here. You can hear the difference between me and Marty.
That's Marty.
That's Marty, and then that lower octave. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
It was
fucking,
fun, dude.
That's fucking heavy. I really like it. I feel like I need to take a bath in
It
holy
was-
water right now, but I
dude.
fucking do. I do like it, though.
I was so fucking nervous, dude.
Really?
I was so I haven't been on a stage. Like I've done songs with MFA before, so like that's nothing new.
Right.
But like that was a song I only got to practice twice,
Fuck.
and I was like, "Fuck, dude!" And I was like, because like the other one, like I was able to listen to over and over and over and
Yeah,
over and
yeah,
over and
yeah.
over, and it was a lot easier. But that one is so fast. Buried in the low casket, there is no way out from under. Skies are glowing, river,
Yeah.
skin is melting, organs failing, no time for evacuation, death and pain is all there is. You'll be praying for the bold last minute little kids. It's very fast.
You just did it to me, and I don't know.
And
what the fuck.
it's, but now you have to do it. And
Right.
just, I was like, fuck, dude. And I was sitting in the green room and I was fucking shaking. And I was like, and Marty, they have this whole part, because the whole album is about the apocalypse, about
Right.
nuclear Armageddon.
Yeah.
And so they have this like very 1950s, like, it's like, that talks about like the space wars. Now, what are the space wars? That means the nuclear weapons are gonna come get us, and it's this whole thing, and then it kicks into that. And I got up on stage, and I don't remember what the fuck I said, but I was telling Marty, I was like, I want to do something really funny and come out and be like, mix this shit up like guacamole, and just like do something off the wall and funny. But I was like, I feel like I just need to like feel it.
Yeah.
And I went out there and I remember what I said. It was something
don't
along the
remember?
lines of like, it was like, if you're gonna fucking mosh now or bang your head or some shit like that. And I just waited and I was just like counting in my head. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was fucking bad, dude.
Dude, that's
But it
fucking-
was dope, dude. The video was dope, dude.
I was gonna ask you if someone was recording.
Yeah. I was very deathcore vocalist dude, just out there, just like got into it.
Were they moshing? Of course they were moshing.
There was a little push mosh.
Yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't a super big pit, but it was just enough that I was like, I wasn't even looking.
Really?
I was looking at the back of the fucking bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking laser beam focus, man.
Yeah. Yeah, just like it, because like yeah, you play music. Do you get the nervous shits before you play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
like
yeah.
the nervous. Yeah. Where it's like you're nervous so much that you're like, I think I gotta go shit right now.
Yeah.
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 No. 100%.
Yeah, and it was just like, it was really funny because I was sitting in the bathroom at this bar, and it's like a big bathroom. Like, it's like, I swear to God, it's like the size of this fucking room, but it's just one toilet.
A stall. Just.
Dude, not even that. It's just, this is just the bathroom. It's just huge. It's just huge for no reason. I don't know why. And I was just sitting in
I
there
get that a lot,
quietly
but-
taking a dump, listening to the song over again. I don't know, dude. I was just like, I was fucking panicking.
Bro, because that's fucking. You're right. It's fucking hella fast. You have to be
So
fucking on your fucking shit. Because it's.
Yeah. Now I remember it.
Now.
Because like after I played that show, I was like, nah, I got it.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking awesome, though. Who's all? How many members is in that band?
There's 4 members of the MFA.
So it's Marty,
Charles, Andrew, and Troy.
Andrew, and Troy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and they're all very different from one another. It's very funny. Like, just Marty's very well. Yeah, they're all, like Marty's very chaotic when he wants to be, but now now that he's married,
Right.
he's leveling out a little bit.
Yeah.
Charles he'll just every time he comes on the dock, he's like, yeah, I fucking jerked off into a Pepsi cup today. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
That is.
We've been recording for 2 minutes.
That's 100% Charles energy. Which, by the way, I want to kind of circle back to one of the doc episodes. You guys were gonna fucking. Charles wasn't gonna fucking J his O for a week.
Yeah.
Did that ever come of anything?
Yeah, so he goes.
Because that hasn't aired yet, has it?
No, so we have like 3 episodes we haven't aired because
Oh my God.
we've been fucking building the studio.
Oh my god.
It's just such a pain in the ass. Some of them are insane. Like some of them, I the one that's gonna come out next, or no, the one after, I almost throw up. Oh. It was that bad, but it was simultaneously one of the funniest things I've ever been a part of. We brought Charles's uncle on, who is this like
It's not,
he's an old ass Mexican dude. It's Tito Tom. Brought him on.
Is that the guy with the nickname Chato?
No, that's a different guy, not Chato. We brought Tito Tom on. Bring him in, and he was like, dude, just a sweet old man. We're like, and before the podcast, Marty was like, I'm gonna show him 2 girls, 1 cup. And I was like, why?
On the podcast?
On the podcast. And he goes, and I'm going to show him cake farts. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So having to be like in a hosting and producing role, I was like, I had to fucking pull these fucking videos up.
Right.
Get them primed. And we watched cake. We pull up cake farts. And I'm like,
because that's ease into
that's
two girls.
easy to do it. We're all like, oh, Joe laughing.
Yeah.
And then Joe's like, you guys ready? We put that on, dude. And to watch the sheer panic in everyone's faces as it just everything unfolds, dude. And I was like, I legit grabbed a fucking trash can and I was like, I'm going to fucking puke. Because it was bad, dude.
Obviously we have to wait and see how it goes out.
It's so funny, but I want to have him back on the podcast and not show him horrific shit. I think next time we're just gonna show him like Ukrainian combat footage. I think that's probably the next.
Better,
yeah,
it's better. More.
Like you ever seen an ISIS beheading footage? Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
Just a little bit more PG.
Yeah.
And a dive.
Yeah.
Oh
dude.
fuck, dude.
Hey Charlie, pull up the Funky Town beheading video, please.
If you could pull up some shit from rotten.com, that'd be fucking fantastic.
Nice segue, buddy. That's fucking beautiful. So, really. Okay, I'm gonna grab a beer real quick.
Grab the fucking beers, dude. Fucking in there's the good ones. We can have let's have profiles open it and then you choose which one you want. We got choices. Pacifico. That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Appreciate you. Yeah. So I since I've started kind of dieting and changing the way I do my habits mentally, trying to like not fucking self-destruct every couple months.
By the way, props though, because a lot of people see that, but they don't give the props. So I'm cheers to that. Cheers to that, brother.
And I don't know. I've started to come out of this head fog, and I for the longest time I had a hard time remembering shit from like my childhood of like funny things, cause like I want to write jokes about funny stuff and like
remember funny shit.
Yeah, remember funny shit that's happened.
Yeah,
and I think I'm pretty sure we talk about like combat footage or something like that with somebody, and then a fucking memory sparked into my head of when I was 13 years old. I was with my cousin at my house, and we're in our computer office room
quarters.
Yeah, like this computer office room that we had in the house, and I was like sitting about my MySpace or something like that. So like when you go on,
you gotta change your top 8 because your fucking little homegirl was acting like a bitch.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Like I mean, it was like set it up so it'd be like it would play like fucking whatever and hop on and be like, "Come on, bitch, and black my eyes," and like skulls and rain and shit. And it was trying to make it
out of my cage.
Literally, just shit like that, trying to make it more like sick, dude.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting like around the computer. We're like, oh, hey, let's have this thing and whatever. And my mom opens My mom opens the door to the computer room and leans her head in, and she goes, "You guys want to see something fucked up?" And we go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Look up rotten.com," and then she fucking closes the door. Oh my God. I was 13.
Your mom?
Yeah. Swear to God.
There's many forms of tough love in this world.
Oh, dude. And it didn't click into my head until the other day. I was like, that fucking happened. So, of course, we're like, what's rotten.com, dude? Look up, and we're like, what's shotgun truck? And you're like, oh, fuck. Just the most horrific shit you've ever seen grace the internet at 13. Immediately. And of course, we went through all the way through it.
Can you explain, please, what is shotgun truck?
It was a dude it was a crime scene photos of a dude who took a shotgun and put it canoed himself effectively.
Oh my fucking
for
God,
YouTube's
dude.
sake. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Canoed himself through the through the top of his truck
with a pew pew.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. So we go through all these like horrific shit, because we're like, oh, it was horrific. Oh, hey, it's even worse. Oh, it's even worse. It gets worse. It just progressively gets worse.
Progressively, yeah.
And my mom pushed right back in. She's like, fucked up, huh? It was like, yeah, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, I went to Rotten.com once, bro, and that was the one thing that I remember before I fucking hopped my happy ass out of there and went back to E-Bomb's world.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking just a dude
Yeah.
fucking a jack-o'-lantern.
It's awesome.
Just
That's just getting festive.
just
Just getting festive, dude.
he took his time to carve out the jack-o'-lantern, right? Like it looked decent, like a jack-o'-lantern.
You're telling me you don't love fall?
You don't like the autumn season, man? I just fucking straight.
Back when I used to play music like often, and the band that I was in, we had band nights the night before the show. So we'd all go to my dude, he was like my boy Vaughn. We'd go to his house, and we would like play video games all night, and fucking just hang out.
Vaughn's his first name?
Yeah, Vaughn Tuskewicz.
Bro, you ain't gonna fucking believe this shit. Von the Scouts! Get your ass up in here, player!
Yeah, dude, no.
No,
Nah, dude.
I'm playing. That's a callback to a different podcast.
Yeah, I would smell the gin before you walked in here. That's how I know.
Oh, shit, bro.
Really, you guys got bourbon? I got a lot of stories about that guy. I love him to death. He's my boy. But we used to do this thing where we'd like very much like Rotten, but it was called a Reddit 50-50.
Oh my
So you go on Reddit, and it was like a blurred image that you couldn't see, and it was like a 50-50 chance. It's either going to be
porn,
a dog playing with a toy, like a puppy, or it's horrific car crash footage.
Okay.
And then we would take bets on what was what, and we always lost. It was always the
opposite of what you guys thought it was gonna be.
Because we're like, oh, it's clearly gonna be a dog.
Yeah, that's puppy, bro.
And you're like, that's a dude without a face. Just immediately. And we're like, you'd play for like 15 minutes, and you'd be like, I don't want to play anymore.
15 minutes? You guys would go 15 minutes?
Yeah, because some of them are really fun. Some of them were like, oh, that dog with that toy is cute.
Yeah, okay.
And then you're like, that is also the same guy without a face.
It's like, oh, that dude with his fucking heart coming out of his arm socket?
Dude, yeah, dude. Oh, man. See, like, that kind of stuff, like, that kind of gore doesn't really faze me that much. I used to watch, also goes to show how my relationship was with my mom. I used to watch Life in the ER with my mom.
Life in the ER?
Yeah, it was like a documentary crew goes to, like, level 1 trauma centers, and everything is filmed. So, like, I'm talking, like, surgeries, traumatic injuries.
Oh, my God.
All that shit was filmed, and it was, like, uncensored. And it was, like, it's horrifying, but at the same time, you're like, that's fucking badass.
Right.
It was just like some dude,
and I get it.
some dude reaching into a dude's chest, grabbing his heart, and he's like, if I stop pumping, he dies. And then like cuts like a week later, and the guy's like, I'm fine. Dude.
Shout out to that dog that was pumping my...
Yeah, dude. It's fucking nuts, dude. Yeah. It's awesome.
Back in the day, what was it? Fucking ER, right? The show ER, the
actors in the... I remember it was the show called ER. My mom used to watch that shit.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember a big-ass guy had a big-ass cut in his back.
Uh-huh.
I think it was, he fell down like a 2-story building. He opened up his shit, but he survived, but he had a big-ass cut in the back. And doctors just fucking stitched his ass up like it was nothing. No.
Fuck, man.
Just shout out to all the fucking doctors in the fucking world.
Dude, shout out to all the first responders having been out there, dude.
That too, yeah.
Going out there and not being like, fuck!
We gotta pull this fool out of the basement, man!
Yeah. Dude, like, you ever seen Night Watch?
Yes.
Oh, dude, Night Watch is the fucking tits, dude. It's the best, dude.
He sounds like a...
It's the best. The first season's New Orleans,
yeah.
And then after, it's like New Orleans, Tampa. I think it's like New Orleans for the first 2 seasons, and then it's Tampa for the rest. But like, dude, so it's just anarchy. It follows police, fire, medical, and then they just go to calls and get fucking shootouts and shit. It's nuts. It's all documentary filmed. It's nuts.
It's like real calls.
Oh yeah.
With camera. Crews.
Yeah. It's insane, dude.
You
like
watch the first episodes, like so you could get it and shit. It's fun.
Oh, it's the best, dude. It's the
gonna
best,
lie.
dude. And like it's also like just fun. It's insane to like see how the human body is with certain shit. Because like a dude like woke up because he got shot. Like woke up to like a drive-by shooting happening in his neighborhood. Bullet comes through the wall, hits him. He wakes up and he's like, God damn it. So he calls 911. They come out and he's just like I was fucking peacefully sleeping and So all pissed, and they're like alerting the level 1 trauma center, and they're like, hey, it's going to be, 55-year-old male, single GSW to the shoulder, no exit wound, whatever. And they're giving their talk up. And then they're like, we're going to do a full body assessment. So they're checking the rest of his body, and they're like, oh, you're good. And so they rub the back of his head, and they're like, oh, you're bleeding on your head. Like, were you laying on your side? And he's like, yeah. So it wouldn't be on the back of my head. So like, oh, that's weird. So start feeling. They're like, do you have a headache or anything? And he's like, yeah, I do got a headache. He's like, yeah, dude, you got shot. You have a bullet in the back of your head. And then he's like, can you see out of your left eye? And he goes, oh, I'm diabetic. Can't see out of my left eye. Turns out the fucking bullet came through. It went through his head and got stuck behind his left eye. Dude had no idea.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And it's like, what? You got shot in the fucking head, dude? That's
And he's
wild.
like, hey, I got shot in the arm, guys. Like,
Yeah, dude.
what the fuck?
Yeah. What a bummer, though.
And he was napping?
Yeah, he woke up shot.
Have you ever gone to sleep fine and woke up shot, motherfucker? That's
I've woken up and shit the bed before, but that's different.
Is that recently?
No.
Oh my god, I wasn't
No,
talking about
dude.
that shit. I haven't shit myself in a minute. Like it's
coming.
it's coming. Yeah, I mean that's not true. When I fucking took that fucking level 6 of Hell's End the other day, I fucking almost my bowels were shaking. It was like this, like
Yeah,
vibrating. It was bullshit.
Yeah. That's what happens. So that's like my daily routine. I have my mornings planned out to a T of like, I had to leave the house at this exact time. Otherwise, I'm going to be on the employee bus on the way to work. About to shit my fucking pants. That's what happened this morning.
It is in almost fucking.
Oh, dude, I was sweating.
Tell me what happened. Talk me through it.
I was just sitting on the. I was before I even got to the employee lot for because I take a shuttle to get to work, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking shoot my pants
this morning.
Yeah, and we got to the airport, and I was like, I'm gonna use the bathrooms that are right here by baggage carousel, and of course they're being clean, and I was like, well, Lord, if you're listening,
Or if you're real and listening.
yeah, it's a very different vibe because you have your cross on and you saw my pants. Yeah, I got fucking pentagrams in my pants. No, Lord, if you're hearing me, I need you to listen.
I'm not gonna lie. Before you got here, Provost wanted to go back home and grab his cross too, because he's like, I don't know what to expect.
It's fine. I'm not gonna conjure anything right now.
Do it. I'm just kidding.
Dude,
Dude, I do have a
fucking
story.
know.
Kind of HGO related kind of question here. I want to tell you a story that happened to my uncle. He actually told it here on the podcast a couple episodes ago, but he told it to me, and I have no idea what to fucking make of it, bro. He was at the casino actually, A.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, and they got there pretty early. Him and my aunt, they were there with a couple of friends, and they had eaten first, and right when they got there, and they didn't finish all their food. So my aunt said, well, we have leftovers. If you want, just take them out to the car and come back, and we'll just keep playing until the rest of the night. And my uncle says, yeah, okay, that's fine. So he's walking out. He grabs the food, and he's walking out of the casino. And as he's walking out, he's noticing that because there's double doors of the casino, and on the outside, facing away from him, there was a really tall guy, and he said that he was wearing, like, clothes, but hard to describe what he was wearing kind of clothes. And he was, like, just, like, kind of a guy that would catch your eye, you know what I mean? Like that guy's weird.
He was like very tall.
Like a basketball player tall.
Like 7 feet tall.
Like 7 feet
fuck
tall.
that. Okay.
And he said that he was wearing these kind of not shorts but not pants, but his pants weren't long enough so that you could see his legs, and he had skinny ass fucking legs. Like he went like this, like too skinny. Like some uncle was like walking out towards him, and he's like, damn, like in his head, that guy's really tall. He's really freaking skinny. I wonder if he plays basketball. His clothes are weird. And just kind of shit like that, just speaking it to himself. And as he's coming out, the guy, for some reason, turns around to look at him, and the guy has no fucking face, bro.
Oh yeah.
That sounds familiar to you?
Yeah, I've heard a couple stories.
Well, here's
about the faceless. Yeah.
Here's the fucking thing, dude. My uncle goes up, and he puts his shit in the car, obviously kind of freaked out. Comes back down, and the guy's not in the front no more. Goes back into the casino, finds my aunt, and they, he didn't tell anybody at the time, because who's going to fucking believe that I just saw a faceless guy? They're fucking having a good time hanging out, this and that. And it's time to go, and they're starting to leave the casino, him and his wife, my aunt. And he just has to tell her, like, dude, I didn't want to say anything, but I just saw this fucking weird tall ass guy wearing weird clothes, and he had no fucking face. And my aunt's like, what the fuck? Yeah, so just to let you know. And then they went out, and he wasn't there, and they were walking to the car, and he said that he saw the same guy over by the smoking area wearing the same exact clothes, except now he wasn't tall anymore. He was short. He was a short dude, and he had a face, and he looked at him again. Like, the guy, like, sensed that my uncle was there, looked back, and made eye contact with him, like if he knew he was there again.
Interesting. I mean, if I had to think of what that could possibly be in the grand scheme of the paranormal, I mean, it could be like a skinwalker type entity.
That's where I was landing on,
type
too.
Thing.
Shape-shifting skinwalker. That's kind of where I was pointing, like landing my finger on if I had to choose, like, what it could be. That or a, what's the other one? What's the Slender Man kind of looking shit too?
Yeah, the Slender Man whole thing is it's a urban legend that just kind of exploded. Essentially, it's not like there's no real set of lore behind that versus like Navajo lore of there being skinwalker.
Yeah,
and I don't know how it is for like the Cowlitz tribe area, who I believe owns Illinois.
It is.
I don't know. I'll ask my buddy who's Cowlitz.
He's
native.
Cowlitz?
She is, yeah. I'll ask her about the legends to see if there's anything related to that. But that's not the first time I've heard stories about the faceless and like faceless entities. My old roommate, back when I lived just down the road here, was combat infantry in the Army. Dude did SF stuff. Dude was a fucking legend. He's a sniper, did a whole bunch of crazy shit. But he was telling, we would get really fucked up, and then he would be like, he's like, I want to see some crazy shit, and would like show me like crazy footage or photos that he took when he was on deployments. And I was like, oh yeah, did anything ever weird happen? Because I hear stories all the time of people being in Iraq and Afghanistan and experiencing strange phenomena. And he goes, once they were coming through a valley in like northern Afghanistan, and it was like pretty much a straight shot road, and there was like mountains on the side, so it's like pretty much like
a valley, like
a full on valley. Like, if you're gonna take engagements, you're gonna take it from the left or right side, somewhere on a hill, and then you're gonna have to go and turn and fucking start shooting it that way.
Yeah.
And there was basically like on the stretch they were at is like they passed the village that goes up towards their forward operating base that is up the road. But it's a significant distance. Like it's not enough that people are going to walk back and forth.
Right.
They're going to go get a car, or they're going to do something, get a bike.
So that
whatever.
enough distance to
for someone like of a local, if like say a local was dropping something off or whatever, because like they or a contractor that lived in the village was like, oh yeah, I'll run your guys' mail or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this dude was walking from the direction of the forward operating base, was like combat age male. So like in his 20s, looked like, was a significant distance away that they couldn't ID if he had anything in his hands, or whatever. So they all stop and they kind of are watching him. And they're like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" Because they're like, "Is he out here digging holes for IDs?
Right.
Is he trying to bait us for a trap? Whatever." And he said there was this bush, like this pretty large bush, and this dude ducks into the bush. So they're like, "This motherfucker." So this dude's gonna come out with an RPG.
Right.
We're going to start ripping 50s into him, and he's going to be dead.
Right.
That's going to be the end of that. And they wait, and dude doesn't come out. So they start yelling in Arabic, like, hey, come out of the bushes. Come out, come out, come out. Dude doesn't come out. They're like, God fucking damn it. So they're like, all right. So they dismount, and they go and they push on the bush, and there's nobody there. And there's nowhere for this guy to go. So they're like, fuck that. There's a fucking tunnel. So we're going to, there doesn't make any sense. There's no way there's not a tunnel. So we're gonna fucking semtex this shit. We're gonna fucking blow it up and bury him in his own fucking tunnel.
Right.
So they semtex it, they blow it up. There's no tunnel, and they're like, "Huh, that's pretty weird." Whatever. Like everybody saw it.
Right.
And then they get to the forward operating base, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, I heard you saw faceless whatever." Like faceless whatever. It's like, yeah, did you not see his face? It's like, no. It's like, yeah, he doesn't have a fucking face. He's blurry. Doesn't have a face. And I guess he's just commonly seen throughout the area. And I was like, fuck, man. That's awesome. But he has a bunch of weird stories. And he's not a big, like, paranormal guy. But he's like, I don't fucking know. He's like, there could have been a tunnel that we missed or whatever.
Right.
But who knows? But he has so many just weird stories. I'm like, dude, you need to start like writing these down. These are fucking scary. Of him being on the U.S.-Mexico border when Trump sent a bunch of military forces out there to like watch over sections of land that didn't have a fence. Where like a lot of the migrants people were coming through. Basically, just sit there, monitor. And be like, hey, there's 20
Border watch.
Yeah, there's 20 people coming this way.
Yeah.
We can see him on the FLIR off the top of the Humvee. whatever. And so like their entire job was basically observe and report. And he's out there with a private, and they're like in the middle of like the fucking desert in Arizona. Like there's not a lot going on. And so he gets out to go smoke, and he looks and he says like 150 yards out, there's a dude crouched down like a dog, just staring at him. And he's like, look at this fucking asshole. You know, like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's staring at him. And he's like, hey, private, put the FLIR on that fucking guy. Find out what the hell he's doing. You know, like, is he a coyote? Is he, like, just spotting us and he's going to come fuck us up? Or, like, what are they going to do? And he's like, oh, Staff Sergeant, I don't see him on the FLIR. And he's like, you fucking idiot. You don't know how to use a FLIR. You missed him. Yeah, it's like, hey, you fucking asshole. You don't know how to use the FLIR. So he looks in and he's like.
He doesn't, no thermal imaging.
No thermal imaging. And he's like, I fucking stood outside the Humvee and just stared at him till the sun went down. And it was like, we were staring at each other, and the sun went down, and he said he just sat in the fucking passenger seat of the Humvee, and he's like, I'll get chewed out, I'll fucking smoke in this thing. Oh, fuck, I'm not getting out. And so his whole thing is his arms are tattooed. They have a bunch of different tattoos, and each tattoo is from a different state. So he went to go get a tattoo when he was down there, and was telling the tattoo artist the story, and she's like, oh yeah, you know about skinwalkers? And just started telling him the story, and he's like, fuck. So I don't know, dude. It's pretty fucked up. I don't know what he saw, but probably saw something sketchy out there.
That's fucking wild. And then, yeah, circling back to what my tío said, what my uncle said, what else could it have been? It has to be.
I mean, if I had to, it's got to be some sort of skinwalker, like, entity.
Yeah. He said that like the clothes the color of the clothes he was wearing, he couldn't fucking put a name to the color of the clothes he was wearing.
Yeah.
Like that's just how weird it was.
Mm-hmm. Very ethereal, and it's because I know that smoking area too, and it's like I'd be curious to see if like to have a let's get TikTok. Love it. I would be curious to see the if like was the guy interacting with people at the smoking section, or was he just simply standing over there and no one was acknowledging his presence?
Right.
Because I know if I'm over at somewhere and some random dude in weird clothing walks up, I'm gonna kind of turn a little bit and just kind of just keep an eye on him.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, just if not talk to him, just kind of be like,
acknowledge a presence.
Yeah,
this.
But yeah, if it's that's pretty weird, dude. I wonder what it was.
Dude, I have
right.
I'm trying to listen to music and it's writing. My bad.
Dude, I have a show. I'm going to a show there up there in Illinois. In August, I'm going to go see Los Lonely Boys.
Word.
And I'm taking my daughter, dude. She's 5. And then my uncle told me this story, and I'm like, God damn it. I don't want to.
I love Los Lonely Boys, dude.
They're my fucking jam, bro.
The shit, dude.
They're literally my
jam. Been a fan of those guys since I was a kid. Best.
I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand that I'm a fan of Los Lonely Boys.
What's your favorite song from the Lonely Boys?
How Far Is Heaven?
Of course.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
How about yours? Other than that one.
Oh, it's not that one.
Oh, okay.
It's not that one. It's More Than Love.
Dude, I love that one too.
Selena, my daughter, loves that one. That's why we're going.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, that guitar riff and How Far Is Heaven is the best.
He's got a fucking telly, bro. That's why.
Yeah, it's man.
He still has it. He still performs with it. That one.
That's wild. Yeah, I saw a thing from them recently, like a video of them, and I was like, "Bros are getting old." I was like, "Damn,
getting up there."
Because in my head, I was like, "Yeah, they're still like their 20s or something like that."
No, they're 40s, dude.
Yeah,
they're 40s. They're up there.
Getting old.
St. Angelo, Texas, dude.
Yep.
Fucking get tickets, dude. Let's go.
That'd be sick.
I'll drop off my daughter. We can go investigate afterwards.
Dad's gonna go with his friend and go drink beers.
Yes, stay here with the Lonely Boy. We'll be right back.
Meanwhile, we're like, did we bring someone? You're like, nah. Fuck it, let's go home.
Nah, she's driving. She's 5.
Fucking 11.
She's 5.
Yeah, she's 5.
She's 5.
Yeah, Dad's got some cinder blocks in the back. Just put it on the gas.
I got a phone book you can sit on.
Got a phone book.
Hey, when was the last time you did a paranormal investigation that you can remember?
It's been a couple of years.
It's been a while, right?
It's been a while. I've had a documentary that's been in the works for a couple of years.
I remember you talking to me about that one last time.
It has a new development.
Really?
Yeah.
Pruebas, también me saques un Pacifico también de ahí, please.
It has a new development.
Another Pacifico, or are you still going on that one?
Yeah, I'll take another Pacifico. I'll kill this one. It has a new development in the sense of I was pretty much like, so I want to bring down the mood, but so I had started that documentary, and then a few months after its completion, my mom passed away, and it kind of killed a lot of motivation for me because of the nature of what happened and everything. And I was like, fuck, man. And so for years, I just kind of sat, sitting on the footage and being like, I know I got to get it done. And I know, but I want it to be something that's worth watching.
Of course.
And so I've just kind of been struggling with it. And I have a homie who manages a strip club that is a few blocks to the east of where Raven's Manor is. And I was like,
thank you.
And she would always, it's Charles's girlfriend who manages it. And she was like, because she knows I love spiky shit, and she was like, I gotta fucking tell you about what's happening in the club. And I was like, all right. She's kind of told me about some stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, I mean, I can't really say what that could possibly be off the top of my head, but like if I went there and actually investigated it and like did some background research, I could probably give you a definitive answer of why stuff's happening, but I don't really know. And we just happened to be me, Marty, back before he was engaged or even dating, me, Marty, Taylor, and a roommate Nate. We're all at downtown drinking, and Marty was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit up Sandra and go out. We'll get a free table at the club, and you can guys can go get a vibe of what's going on."
Get a feel.
And when I walked in, I didn't really get really too much of a vibe because it's lit up. There's music playing. It's a joyous atmosphere.
It's a strip club right now.
Yeah, and so we had a nice reserved table, and so all these strippers come up and be like, "Well, you guys do," because they see a couple and they're like, "Oh, that's a lot of money," and and they're like, "You guys are fucking freaks," but I purposely wore my ghost hunting team shirt because I wanted them to be able to be like,
"Oh, you ghost hunt?
Yeah,
you're never gonna believe this shit."
Literally that, because they were like, "Oh, you ghost hunters," and I was like, "Yeah, we actually know Sandra," and they're like, "Oh," and then they're like, "I gotta fucking tell you about this," and they start they completely broke the facade.
They're like, hold the fuck on.
Yeah, it was chick with her titties out, completely breaks the facade of
hey, big boy.
Yeah, and she's like, "I have to tell you about this. This happened. I experienced this. I saw this. And it was just and I was like, that's fucking insane what you're telling me."
Yeah.
And then she would, go like, "Oh, I gotta go on the main stage." Oh, she goes to the main stage.
Rounds.
That starts making the rounds between all the dancers. So dancers start coming up to the table. We become the most popular fucking table tonight. We have 3 different dancers in front of our table, and they're like,
"There's a couple of ghosts."
Swear to God,
there.
Swear to God, and they're like, "We have to tell you about what happens in the VIP rooms." Because there's,
I can tell you what happened.
No, there is apparently a presence within the VIP rooms, and I was like, "What does that mean?" You guys, because it is dark back there. I had them go and open and be like, "Yeah, see, it's dark," and I was like, "Yeah, are you just guys getting spooked out because it's dark, or is there a presence?" They're like, "There's something fucking back there. I don't know what's back there, but there's something fucking back there."
Let's go find out, baby. How much is it then? How much is it?
Can you say what is the club's name?
I can't right now because we're
after
actually
the podcast.
After the podcast, yes. But after the podcast, yes. But we're actually working on getting permission to go film.
Shut the fuck
inside
up,
the club. And that's going to be the grandiose finale
of this documentary.
Of the documentary.
Fuck around and find out, dude.
I had the strangest experience with that place without me investigating it, because I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I've been in the field for so long and I've been connected to it so long, you kind of start to pick up on shit. Mm-hmm. And I've been able to do this thing for a couple of years that I've vetted time and time again, which is called remote viewing. Uh-huh. Which is where effectively it was actually a program also done by the U.S. government for a long time, but it's basically I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm able to see things when I'm not there. And I did it to Taylor's old work years ago. She was experiencing hauntings. I somehow had this weird connection between her and that place, and I was able to draw out a fucking entire building that I had never been in, down to details of like where filing cabinets were, where desks were, where shit like that was. And I've been able to do that for years. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But I had this vision of a man in a tailored suit standing at the bottom of the stairs inside that club. And I asked Sandra, I was like, yeah, there's like one light bulb at the bottom of the stairs, and it's super sketchy and it's kind of like narrow. She's like, yeah, how do you know that? And I was like, I just know. Like I don't want to like freak anybody out, but like I just know. And I kind of put it out of the back of my head for a little bit because I was like, I had other shit to focus on. And I was like, I really got to do some research on that fucking place, but I just don't know where to start. So I tried backtracking and I couldn't find anything. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, I know Ravens Manor is connected to the Shanghai tunnels. We know that was operated by the Chinese. The whole all of Old Town was operated by Chinese, and there were Shanghai people through the tunnels. We know that. And I was like, this is like, 2 blocks to the fucking, 2.5 blocks to the north or the west or the east. No, the west. The west. So it's like, is that too far? Like just trying to pick, and I just could never figure it out. And one day I was at work, and I don't know, I just started typing in something on my phone. Like I don't know why. I just started typing in something, and then I was like, I typed in the address, and I was like, this is going to be the same shit that I've found time and time again, where it's like, I know it was built in fucking 2002. I know the building was built in, but like, whatever. What was before? Yeah, and I was able to go back and find maps from like 1862 to 1902.
Oh, fuck.
Just randomly, out of thousands of pages.
Holy shit.
And they were one after another. And I was like, and I sent them all to her, and I was like, there's your fucking answers. Like that's why you're experiencing this stuff. It was owned by Chinese tailors back in the 1860s, which is like the start of the Shanghai tunnels.
Right.
That entire fucking block was that. And
tailors like suited?
Like suits.
Custom suit
Directly next door to it was a known gambling casino area run by the Chinese that was there, because they had a lot of Chinese migrants. And we know from history in Portland, the same motherfuckers that are Shanghai people and trafficking opium. And it's right next door. And we're able to I was able to start to piece all this shit together. And we're like, well, why does the building look different now? And it's like, because on this date, on this date, they fucking destroyed a section of that building, put in sidewalks, because they started to pave roads then. And it was just fucking bizarre being able to start connecting the dots and being like, holy shit, dude, we're starting to figure this out.
Are you guys going to put that information in the documentary?
Yeah, once it's all compiled and we go in there, we film, because I'm going to do it way different than I did Ravens Manor, because I wish I could go back and do Ravens Manor different than what I did, because I want to say mistakes, but I did a lot of shit that was reckless for my health.
I remember you told me, because I was watching the episode from last time, that something touched you and it pissed you off, you started provoking and shit like that.
Yeah, I put myself in harm's way for the sake of trying to understand something that I'll never understand.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. So
in
now
hindsight,
I'm like,
you wouldn't do it again.
No.
Gotcha.
No. It's like, you burn your hand on a hot stove.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it twice. Well, in my case, 3 times.
In my case, 3 times. Is that still hot?
Come to find out, pretty fucking hot. So, looking at our notes here. So, a while back, we did episode 100 for Hans Graves and Omens.
Which, by the way, did you see that profiles? What? Their 100th episode of Hans Graves and Omens podcast. They did it. It wasn't like a live stream, or was it a live stream?
It was supposed to be a live stream, but we couldn't get the network to work.
Right.
So we just recorded it as is.
But they recorded it in a haunted fucking basement, bro. And as they're recording, it's an hour and a half long-ish. Yeah. There's fucking EVPs that come through. There's noises in the dark that fucking come through. Man. There's fucking people walking that come through.
And nobody was there?
Nobody was there. It was just us. We had the keys. We had the keys of the building. The owner had gone across the street to go play a show, because he does like singer-songwriter stuff. And she was just such a homie that we showed up, and because we had investigated. We hadn't talked to her in a while, to be honest. Like, I mean, when we used to live closer, I used to drive down every so often, get food, and then I'd be like, "What's up, homie? Everything's still good? Checking in, making sure." And kind of fell to contact, and we were trying to struggle to find a place to go film. And Taylor was like, "Oh, I'll go ask, homie, go over there." And she was like, "Absolutely." So he showed up
Dude.
and she's like, "Here's my keys."
Dude, that is so
And I was
fucking
like,
dope. That's so
That's cool that I can build that trust with a business owner that she
Right.
trusts us enough
Hell
with
yeah.
their business that we're able to just be like, we're gonna secure it,
Yep.
we're gonna lock it, we're gonna make sure it's locked, all that stuff. We're gonna do all this bullshit for you, and
Didn't Marty like have to leave mid podcast because he felt like shit?
yeah, whatever was down there was like something to like soak up moisture was fucking killing us. It was bad.
Really?
It was bad. But
Some mildewy shit.
yeah, it was like just like sprinkle stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just it's something to soak up all that shit so it didn't mold and. But yeah, it was weird, man. That was the screaming woman
Bro.
definitely caught me
Wait,
off guard.
what?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
there was a full woman
Yes,
scream,
sir.
and
And did you hear it? Or
oh, I
was
heard it in my in-ears. It was that loud, and so that means it had come through the mics.
And through the mixer.
It was that loud. It was fucking super scary. I don't know what it like because Marty and Taylor were talking, doing whatever. They're like riffing off the topic, and then you're like, ah! And I was just like, "Did you guys fucking hear that?" And they're like, "No." And I was like,
Yeah.
"How the fuck did nobody hear that?
Yeah.
That was so loud." And then Marty caught one of like somebody saying something,
Yeah.
but I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
And then at
I
one
remember
point
that.
we were all doing something, and then we heard something moving, like something moving furniture down in the basement where we were at.
Yeah.
But we have lights in our face, so
Right.
we can't hardly see. We can see past it, but like
Hardly.
you gotta like squint your eyes and like kind of look.
It's like,
But something was moving something while we were down there, and I was like, "Fuck me, dude."
how many people were there with you?
Just me, Marty, and Taylor.
So just 3 people.
Just 3. That's it.
Damn.
and
And
then we're
we
all on the podcast.
and that's a place that I have investigated, and unfortunately, the business is no longer. They closed down, which I do want to text the owner and be like, "Can we finally release the footage of our first investigation because it doesn't exist anymore?"
Right.
But we.
Oh,
Dude.
she had a problem with you releasing the footage?
Yeah, well, yeah. So whenever we investigate
have to have permission.
businesses, I go like, "Hey, do you want this just to be like for personal use for like you guys, so that way you guys have closure, or do you want it so you guys can also have closure, and then we can also like put this out and kind of show what we captured." And then like sometimes they're like Ravens Manor, they're like, "Oh fuck yeah, send it out." But sometimes some places are like,
Yeah.
I have a whole fucking catalog of just businesses that I've investigated.
They say
Just
never
totally
mind.
just drop that in my drink, fidgeting. Whatever. And I have a whole catalog of places I've investigated where I'm like, they're like, "Hey, no,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here to make money off
Right.
of doing what I'm doing. I'm here to get you answers that you want.
Yeah, I'm here to help.
Yeah, here to help, and I'm gonna try to combat against whatever is happening if I can, and I'll bring in fucking whoever I need to get that to work.
Right.
I'll bring in fucking mediums, whether I believe them or not.
Right.
My medium that's associated with our team, I vetted her. She fucking knows what she's doing. It's pretty weird. I still don't understand how she does it.
Right.
But then again, I don't understand half the shit that I do when it comes to it. So
Right.
can't really question it. But I mean, I'll bring in who the fuck I need to bring in to get someone closure.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. It's weird. Like when the first time I investigated that place, it was weird. That was the most amount of paranormal activity that I've had in front of my face, like in front of me in years, where I wasn't afraid.
No way.
Like, because usually something moves in front of you,
Yeah.
and you're in the fucking dark, and you know that shit's not supposed to be moving.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. I mean,
I'm shitting there.
yeah, like someone would be like, "I don't believe in ghosts," whatever. But you're sitting there and a fucking chair slides across the room in front of you. You're gonna be like, I'm okay.
It was the wind in this basement.
But it was really cool to be able to sit there and have our medium talking to this entity
Right.
while we ran a spirit box and ran all this other stuff. And we're like, "Hey, tell the spirit of Judy to come over here and interact. If she can hear us, come over and interact with this device, the EMF detector." And it would go off.
No
And
way.
our medium would be facing ground. She's like, "Yeah," she says she's touching it right now. It's like, okay, so like so clearly there's something. And then like we would get answers through a spirit box and all this stuff. And like
And this is
I
film,
put
too.
like a ball on the ground, and it's kind of this. It was this cracked basement floor, like it was like old concrete, so it's
Yeah.
very cracked and broken and jagged. So like nothing really rolls down there, And I put it on the ground, made sure it's settled, doesn't move. And I'm like, Jude, I need you to roll this ball towards me. And that fucking thing just rolls. And it's like,
What?
okay, so that's cool.
And this is all on film?
Yeah, I mean, it's all just documented. Like, I mean, it's just all this weird shit happening. And it was like, this is great. Like, and it was, according to our medium, she asked Jude, she's like, do you want to leave? And she said yes. And so we opened the front door and she left. And then we all felt this weird cold presence as she left. And it was like, oh, she was like, yeah, she's walking down the street and waving. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't know if I believe you, but that's cool, you know. But
is that a way for, like, say spirits move on? They just need someone to help them find the door, essentially.
Sometimes people just need a little help to
someone to help guide them out.
Yeah, just who fucking knows what that fourth dimension is like, dude?
Yeah.
Who knows what it looks like outside?
I know.
You know, this could be like the ruins that we're in. We have no idea.
I have no idea.
But
People say that when they do astral projection.
Yeah.
That supposedly that's the next dimension.
Yeah.
Have you heard that theory before too?
I have heard astral projection, and that kind of ties into remote viewing. Like it's the very same kind of vibe where you're subjecting your consciousness into a different plane, and that's how you're able to do shit. But
when you do that, are you asleep or is it just when
I'm awake? It's like an extreme meditation. I don't know how. Like, are you able to picture stuff in your mind?
Yeah, of course.
Like, because I know some people aren't able to do that. Like Taylor can't do that. Like, if you close your eyes and you can picture an apple, right?
Of course.
What color is it?
Red.
Okay. Describe the room.
It's this room. I'm imagining myself holding an apple.
And you can envision that, right?
Yeah.
Some people can't do that. Okay. Some people, and that's like Taylor. She can't envision that. She knows what an apple looks like.
Right.
She's like, yeah, it's probably red. It probably has a little green leaf and a stem, whatever. But she can't envision that.
Okay.
And there's a really I'll have to find it and send it to you. But there's a really fascinating interview with the guy who was part of the remote viewing program, who talks about that. Of like, you can start tapping into that shit. And all it takes is this extreme meditation. And that's essentially what I do when I do that. And the reason I don't do it as often is because it's fucking dangerous.
It is.
Because
some people get lost in that realm.
You get lost in the realm, but also, like, it's like, for me, it's like ghost hunting. Because I have a bunch of homies, because now it's starting to get nights out. All the homies are hitting me up, and they're like, oh, let's go ghost hunting. Let's go do this.
Right.
Let's go
Me.
And I one of the homies was like super adamant. Just like, oh yeah, I want to go ghost hunting with you and you everybody and all that stuff. And I was like, I need you to understand that if you go out with us and you go and you investigate, that there is nothing that I can do
to protect you
from something horrific happening.
Yeah.
That is, you need to understand.
That's the truth.
I used to do ghost tours back in the day through like Vancouver. It was like my own personal ghost tours. I had like written about all the history, about the haunted legends, about all these places. We'd walk past them, I'll tell the haunted history. And at the very end, we would do effectively a ghost hunt up and around the post hospital. Because I didn't have access to the inside. And whenever I would get to that section, I would, be like, the ground you're standing on past Fort Barracks Road is hollowed ground. Everything that you can see from the west of Fort Barracks Road was tents back or I think it was around like 1910, I want to say something like that, 1920, 1915, around that time. And it's where 20,000 people died. From a fever, like from the flu, essentially. It's like Spanish fever, or flu, whatever it was.
Spanish flu.
Yeah. And it's 20,000 people just hollowed ground. And so I was like, you guys have to understand that if you're going to continue with the rest of this tour, which is going to be the section where we start to try to communicate with the dead that reside here, that some shit's going to happen that you're probably not going to like.
Right.
And you need to understand that there is nothing I can do to say like, hey, at least it's not going to follow you home, because I have no fucking idea if it's going to or not.
Right.
And
that's my biggest roadblock. I've told you before that's my biggest roadblock.
Yeah. Luckily, it never happens. I mean, I shouldn't say never. It usually doesn't happen. There's a series of things that we can do to try to prevent it and whatever. We do follow-ups like a week and then a month after, and we're like, hey, you guys experience any weird shit? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, cool.
Good.
So we're good. But yeah, we saw some real fascinating shit, like just being out there and you're watching like people walking up on the third floor of the post hospital, and then you shine a flashlight on them and then they disappear. turn your flashlight back off, and they're standing back there again. And you're like, huh? So they are just still there. They're just hanging out. It's great.
See, I'd investigate there. I don't feel like that's malicious though. Those are just fucking trapped spirits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the nature of the deaths. Yeah, because I mean, it is the post hospital in the sense of like, who knows, surgeries and shit like that. But I've never felt anything negative.
Right.
The best experience I've had ghost hunting was actually down the street. There was a Catholic.
Down the street from Vancouver?
Yeah, from Vancouver, kind of near where I lived when I lived in Vancouver, and it was this Catholic cemetery.
There we go.
And I would go in there and I would run my at the time was like brand new spirit box. They were kind of pieces of shit. Yeah, pieces of shit. Whatever, big and bulky. And we went back in there and I was like trying to communicate. And no one really wanted to talk to me, so I was like, whatever. And so I kind of started wandering, and I wandered back, and I found all the nuns that are buried in there. And then I was like, hey, sisters, if anybody's here and wants to talk, here. And then I would spend hours communicating through a spirit box with what I assumed to be nuns. But it was just super weird because they were always so polite, so nice.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, it's only been negatives. It's
been downhill since
then.
then.
It's just been like me going to places and they're like, I'm the devil, and you're like, ugh, you're not. The devil doesn't live in San Diego, dipshit.
Yeah,
he clearly lives in Los Angeles.
If you're the devil, you don't have to tell me that you're the devil.
That's exactly what I fucking said. I was like, the devil's not gonna be like, I'm the devil. It's like, yeah, buddy. Yeah. And OJ's innocent. Hey, speaking of OJ, dude, gone too late, right?
Gone too late. Fucking stupid. Hey, back together again with his baby girl. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, dude.
Reunited, and it feels so sketch.
Oh, hopefully there's no waiters in hell.
We were talking about that 100th episode of HGO that you guys are doing the live right here on this. There's another post that says HGO live, and I thought you were talking about the 100th episode, but it's something else.
First time I'm announcing it. It's on this. It's not done yet. There's no official date, but we're gonna be doing Hans Graves and Omens live. I'm writing a whole live show about urban legends, ghosts, aliens, cryptids, keeping it lighthearted.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, I don't want to do a fucking live show and be like, on December 7th, the body of, Stephen Winters was found. I don't want to do that. It's fucking super, that's a bummer, dude.
Yeah.
But I'd much rather be like, this fucking dude got abducted by aliens and the alien looked like Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to write this whole fucking show, and then we're going to go and do it. We're also thinking about potentially going into McMinnville and doing the McMinnville UFO Festival. Which I think would be kind of cool. It doesn't cost that much to set up and do a booth. And I was like, it'd be kind of fun to do a booth and just have a mic.
Right.
And then be like,
rolling.
Just like have a camp. Yeah. Have a GoPro set up or whatever and be like, do you want to tell us a UFO story?
That would be so fucking
And then just have
dope.
people come out and be like, I'll tell my UFO story. And then they just tell us their stories and we're able to like document them.
Dude, that would be so fucking dope.
It'd be super easy. And then we give them like cool stickers and shit. And we're like, here you go. It'd be dope. It'd be fun.
I didn't know McMinnville had a UFO festival.
Dude, McMinnville is like a fucking huge UFO community.
What?
Yeah. You never heard about the McMinnville UFO? Back in the 50s? Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. I think we did that for HGO. There was like a famous photo of these crafts floating over a field in McMinnville, as well as a shitload of other sightings. And it's one of the few cases. Do you know what Project Blue Book is?
Isn't that where you go and see if your car's cheap?
Okay. It's Kelly Blue Book. That's good. It's a good bit.
This motherfucker.
So Project Blue Book was a black budget project done by the U.S. government back in the 1940s to investigate UFOs.
Okay.
To investigate the claims of sightings and abductions and shit like that. And they are notorious for being shitheads in the sense of like some dude was like, there was a famous case of like police in a small town, 3 different agencies, state, local, and county, chased a craft that was 150 feet off the ground. That's fucking close. 150 feet off the ground for 30 miles.
Oh my God.
Until it went over a mountain range.
Oh my
They
God.
all saw it. They're all pursuing it because they're like, this is clearly some sort of foreign object. It could be like Russian. It could be whatever. So they're following it and they're like, maybe this thing's going to crash and then we can fucking get out and beat the shit out of them or whatever, whatever.
Right.
And it disappeared over a mountain range. And so they report it to the U.S. Air Force, who forwards it to Project Blue Book. And Project Blue Book goes, what you saw was a satellite.
Right.
You saw a satellite. And they go 150 feet off the ground. And they go, oh, I'm sorry. You saw the planet Venus.
Oh my God. They backtracked to Venus instead of satellite.
Yeah. And you're like, we saw, it was 150 feet off the fucking ground.
Right.
What are you talking about? We saw it. We physically saw it.
So
Like
Project
it
Blue
wasn't
Book-
like it was like a distortion in the night sky.
Right. No, we saw that shit. We chased it down.
And so with McMinnville's case of them, their UFOs, it's one of the few cases in Project Blue Book where they go, we don't fucking know what that is.
No way.
And so it's become this big deal. And McMinnville is like our own version of Roswell.
Right.
But, it's not New Mexico, so it's not awful. So it's...
Hey, shout out Farmington.
Oh, dude. Just fucking...
Shout out Burke. Hey.
Shout out all that sand and shit. But no, it's a fascinating fucking case. It's just like,
Project Blue Book essentially are like the fucking Men in Black of the government at the
oh,
time.
new Men in Black or the Men in Black? Don't even, dude, you want to give me a start of the Men in Black, dude? Because I'll go in.
Is that another thing?
That's a whole different thing. That ties into Black Eyed Kids. That ties into a whole bunch of fucking scary shit.
How on a 1 to 10? How bad you gotta piss?
Like 0.
God damn it! How do you do that? Can you like lend me your bladder? For
Pause
a
it.
minute? Yeah.
Can you lend me your bladder? No, I don't think that's how that works.
Now we're back. I also don't have to be. We also didn't just cut right now.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate more on the live you were talking about doing?
Oh, yeah.
Talking about doing something like a stand up.
So we're gonna the idea is that we're gonna get, because the idea eventually is I want to do the podcast more live without doing a podcast live, because podcast lives can be boring. It's especially if you don't have a script or whatever.
Right.
And so like the grandiose idea originally, so little insider fucking baseball essentially is
The inside scoop, man.
inside scoop is the Comedy Chaos Network is like, that name had come from an idea that I had before the doc.
Really?
Like it was early days of HGO, and I wanted to do a comedy show where it was called Comedy Chaos Live, where you bring on 6 comics, or 5 comics, and then me, like a host or whatever, and we have almost a bleacher section of shit, like for them to sit, and then the guys had to go up and do sets, and then while they're doing their sets, they spin a wheel in the background for shit to happen.
Oh shit! Okay.
And so it'd be like, whatever. Be like, we're gonna throw pies at them or whatever, just something insane. And I was like, that's really funny. And I was like, oh well, I want to do an actual live show for HGO, but I want to do that, but I want to make it more spooky, make it more fun,
Right.
Because like everybody loves spooky shit, especially like because like everybody is always excited for spooky shit during October because it's like it's the time, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But like the other couple months of the year, everybody's like, I like spooky stuff now still, it's a good market and it's people enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, during the summer, dude, ghost tours are fucking popping because it's nice out and shit. And, like, how much fun it would be if, like, you're walking downtown and you see a bar and it's, like, one night only, Haunts, Graves, and Omens Live, Ghost, Aliens, Cryptids.
Right.
Like, and then, like, you have all the lineup of, like, comics. And then we just bring my friends on that do stand-up.
Get Adam.
And then, I want to hit up Adam, see if he wants to do it because he's been on HGO.
I know.
And
that was
get up
that
Bill
was a great
Bernard
episode.
and get the homies and be
Yeah.
like, we're going to bring everybody on. And then we're going to, like, I'm going to tell you guys the story of this. And it's your jobs to riff on it.
like commenting. And
Yeah,
like
riff on it and
commentate.
make fun of it and like rip it apart and
Oh, Adam would fucking smash at
Yeah.
that, dude. He was doing that on your episode of
Yeah.
HGO.
Oh, we were so drunk too.
97 Ultima.
Yeah, I get finger band in the back of a 97 Ultima. It's one of the funniest lines I've ever heard on HGO.
He told me one time that he was down to come on this podcast too, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been nervous to bring him on because that's a fucking polished comic, bro.
Yeah, once I actually get the doc fully back and chugging again, I'm gonna bring him on. Also, I have more ideas for shows that I'm launching,
Dude.
and I don't want to get too far into the weeds yet and like promise stuff, but I have this really cool idea of that was originally to me was going to be a documentary that eventually I hopefully can turn into a documentary.
Okay.
But I want to do maybe see if I can launch it as a podcast first and have that be a podcast and I can kind of like gain traction with it, then go film.
And then go turn it into something?
Yeah, turn it into something, and that way we have that.
Okay,
like,
well, what is it? What's it based off of?
So it was, originally it was called, like the idea, the working title I had for a long time was called like Beyond the Lights, which is where I was going to go and film with, I wanted to go film with Portland Police, Fire, and EMS and go film real Portland.
Right.
Like, not like Night Watch where it's like very,
Yeah, kind of like...
it's like action packed and all this stuff, it's like, yeah, here's all the hot calls and stuff, like the real, like just follow one person from each agency.
Yeah.
Just the one person. What is their life like at work?
Right.
How are they at work? What calls did they go? How does that affect that person? And then when they go home, how is their home life? Is their home life changed? Is it different because, they had a hard call that night and now they had to come home and, be a dad or be a mom to somebody? Meanwhile, like 2 hours earlier, they were bagging somebody on the side of the road that was overdosing. Yeah. It's like, how does someone make that adjustment in their lives? Right. And it was that. And then the idea was like,
is there a way to turn it off? Like clock out, can you turn that off too? Like,
yeah. And that kind of evolved into my idea of, I know a lot of war fighters. I know a lot of guys who were special operations, like, special forces. I know guys who were fighter pilots. I know guys who have experienced combat and experienced insane shit. I know former gang members like that were in the shit. Like how was their life then versus now?
Right.
Like what was their life like when they were in East LA and they were fighting to survive effectively, while being like, you're gonna have to go fucking kill this guy or we're gonna kill you.
Right.
And
you were him, Bato.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. And I've been lucky enough to have those conversations with people, but I'm like, I have a big list of people that I'm like, I need to get to and I want to document.
Right.
Like one of them is my uncle for sure. Did 28 years, just retired last year.
Wow.
From the fire department as a battalion chief, and 28 years, you're gonna see some crazy shit.
Got some stories.
Yeah, he has some really funny ones. He has some ones that are not as funny.
I have an uncle right now who's a sheriff, and I probably shouldn't say what county, but I've invited him to come on the pod, but he can't because he's still active duty. You know what I mean? So it's like, he can't right now.
That's why I'm pulling at like those who are no longer involved.
Yeah.
And with that, they can give me the tip on the next guy, where like my uncle can be like, oh, I know a dude who was a sheriff for 15 years.
Right,
like, let's bring him in, see what he wants to talk about. And it's just fascinating. I got a buddy right now who works as a CBP officer.
Fuck.
And like just talking to him and him telling me his stories, I'm like, he's only been over 2 years, and he's like, it's fucking nuts. And he goes, he's at the Canadian border. Like, but he just a month ago spent, or not a month ago,
the Canadian.
Like a couple months ago, spent like a few months down at the El Paso border, and like doing CBP there.
Fuck.
And haven't been able to get with him since, but like I already know it's gonna be a completely different dynamic from what it was up in Canada, because
they're not that worried up in Canada.
Well, yeah, surprisingly, Canada is their migrant situation is way different. I mean, it's very much the same in the sense of like how people are coming in and out, but it's the way they're doing it is different.
Right.
Because down south, it's a lot of deserts, a lot of open land, and it depending on where you are on that border. I actually just listened to a 2-hour-long podcast today about a guy who was 25 years as a chief border officer, and like his experiences. And he was saying that like depending on where you are, your track time on a person can go from minutes to seconds. So like if you're in a high populous area like El Paso, where there's the border's right there, and then it's neighborhoods.
Yeah.
That all that person has to do is squeak through, and then they're gone.
Right.
And then they're in doing whatever. Cool. Whatever.
Right.
You know. But
someone's backyard and then on the street and who knows.
Yeah. But then you go further down where it's open desert and it's like, you know, who knows how many fucking people have just dropped, you know, in the middle of the desert. And there's, I don't know if you've seen those, like the photos and videos, but like there's these big ass light poles in the middle of the fucking desert that have like water spouts and shit. And it's like in Spanish and English and Chinese and Mandarin, bunch of shit. Because like that Mandarin, like a bunch of Chinese migrants are coming through. Yep. And it's like, if you are in physical distress, ring this bell and do not move from this area. There is water, fresh water in the spout. Drink as much of it as you want, whatever. And we're going to be here in exactly 1 hour.
Right.
And people will fucking walk through the desert for days. And then they'll be like, fuck this, dude. I'm done. And I just saw a video recently of them going out and finding this guy. And him just being out there and him just fucking terrified. And he's like, I had to fight against coyotes and fucking...
Coyotes the people or coyotes the coyotes?
Like coyotes, like the animals.
Oh, fuck.
Like a pack of coyotes got fucking chased by a pack of coyotes, like, was, you know, like, had, like, sleeping and, like, a rattlesnake would fucking coil up next to him and shit like that. Like, and I was like, fuck, man. But, like, talking to him, and him being up in Canada, I was like, oh, it's clearly not going to be as crazy. And he's like, it's just as fucking nuts. It's just as... insane but it's different because you have a lot of trains and shit that go through Canada to the U.S. I mean, it's a high populous area because Vancouver is just right there. You know, it's I mean, there is on the Mexico side there's Tijuana and you know like a lot of the other towns.
Yeah, I got Matamoros under El Paso. There's another one, Juarez.
Yeah, Juarez. Yeah, like was it Nogales? There's Nogales and Nogales, Mexico, on the other side. Like, it's just a bunch of them, yeah, and like, but in the grand scheme of things, there's not a big thoroughfare that runs through there. But he was telling me like he did a bust where they got like 40 people, like 40 like Chinese migrants that were coming through on a train, and like one guy kind of fucked it up for the rest of them because he sat up and like looked around. Oh, and they're like, oh, get
that one that's looking around, man.
Yeah, and so they got them all. And they were like, why are you guys here? And they're like, we're seeking asylum. It's like, all right. And they fucking just, they bring him into a facility. They process him. They go, let's make sure that you're not wanted for murder in fucking China. And they verify, and they're like, all right, where are you going to? It's like, I'm going to San Francisco. It's like, all right, check on this dude at San Francisco.
Wow.
And they just go. And it's like, that's fucking insane. But he's like, but then there's some times where somebody comes through, and you're like checking in on him, and you're like, oh, this is wanted for like 5 counts of murder in Mexico. And he came up and around through Canada because he was up in Alaska, and he came up through. It was like, what the fuck, dude? It's like insane.
And that's one of the guys we want to bring on.
Yeah, I want to bring on so bad, dude. Just talk to him.
That's fucking hella fucking stories too, dude.
Yeah, I really want to bring in my old roommate who was special operations because that dude's stories are fucking nuts. Like, just
fucking straight special ops shit.
Yeah, dude. Because he opens his stories up in the funniest ways possible, but like they're the most horrific shit. Because he'll be like, "Did I tell you about the first time I almost got shot in the head?" And I'm like, "No."
The first time?
The first time? Yeah, because it's happened more than once.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm like, "No," and he'll tell me the story, and I'm like, "That's fucking insane." And then like he'll pull up maps. Like on Google.
Happened right here, man.
Yeah, he'll zoom in and be like, "Yeah, you can see the village there." And then I was on this ridge line, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
That's insane, dude.
He'd be such a great guest.
Those fucking people out there in special ops too, they have to have paranormal stories too. They probably, but the thing is that they're so like, you know what I mean, looked up to and shit that they don't want to. Yeah, tell them sometimes because then they seem like, oh, that guy's crazy. They don't want to fucking portray it that way. I
feel like in the next 10 years it's going to change.
You think so?
Because we're looking now more so than ever of disclosement with the U.S. Navy, where Navy personnel are seeing shit in the ocean. They're seeing USOs. They're seeing UFOs. They're seeing USOs and UAPs.
Unidentified sea objects?
Yeah, unidentified submersible object.
Because I've seen videos of that with lights and fucking swimming around and shit. Like, what the fuck?
And people, you know, there's a stigma around it because they're like, oh, you saw some in the water.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, you know, whatever.
You saw fish in the water, man?
I don't know if you watched the whole UFO briefing with Congress and stuff where they talked about it, but like they're like, we simply don't know what this stuff is. And so it's important for us to be able to document it and like talk about it with people to be like, because like that could be a piece of new tech. We have no fucking idea.
Right.
That could be, that could be Russian made tech. That could be, Chinese tech. That could be whatever. It could be somebody else's tech that we simply don't know about and we haven't found yet. And we need to document it and see if we're able to fucking track this thing and find out what the fuck it is. And if it is, how can we kill it?
Right.
Because we're Americans.
And neutralize the fucking subject.
Yeah. Or at least, capture it in some sort of way. But yeah, with like the whole full disclosure thing, like it's becoming more and more evident because with like David Grush coming out and like talking about it, a lot of people are like, shut the fuck up, man. Just stop talking about this shit. And, because they're just trying to make him seem like a fucking idiot because he's talking about this stuff. But at the same time, you're like, the DOD is like, we have to have some sort of avenue for people to talk about weird shit.
Yeah.
Because we can't just sit back and pretend that it's not happening.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we can't just be like, oh, yeah, you're fucking crazy.
You have to acknowledge it at some point.
There's clearly something happening.
Right.
It's been, the famous Tic Tac video of the F-18 Hornets intercepting over San Diego, the thing rotating at a weird axis while it rotates. it doesn't make any fucking sense.
What the fuck is that?
Like relatively recently, in recent news, of them intercepting that weird, octagon-shaped object over Lake Michigan or whatever, and they or over Alaska, and they shot it. And they tracked it as it fell. They shot it with F-35s. They tracked it. It was around the same time as the balloon incident. Tracked it, and they're like, this isn't a fucking balloon. It's not shaped like the balloon. Tracked it, shot it, watched it crash. And they're like, yeah, we're sending a team out there to go recover it. And we'll brief the media once we recover it. And they never fucking said anything about it.
Right.
Never said anything since. And watch, like now that I'm talking about it, give it a week, and they're going to be like, yeah, it was like a kite or something. They're going to fucking bullshit their way through it.
It was a 15-year-old's birthday, man. It was a fucking special made kite by his dad, man. That's why we were.
That's the kite my dad made.
Yo, shot my kite, man.
That's the kite my dad made before he got in his crash. You're like, well, your dad should make better fucking kites.
Yeah, your dad's a piece of shit, man.
Maybe if your dad wasn't fucking dead, he would be such a crybaby.
Dude, my sister Sophie, she just came down a second ago. One time, quick story, when we were in Arizona for spring break, and I'm talking maybe this is Sophie. How old is Sophie right now? Profile? She's like 24, 25. Sophie must have been like 7, and I'm 6 years older than her. So if 7 plus 6, that's a number. It's 13. It is 13.
That's a number. That's crazy.
We were in Arizona visiting some of Father Mike's family, and they had a basement area, but much nicer than this. It was well kept. They had a basement area, and it was like used as a gym. Like they had like a bar, like a bench press, and then like a corner kind of with weights, and they had this kind of Bowflex machine, like where you would sit down and rest your back, and then you kind of do this fucking, you know what I mean, with the wires and the shit. Yeah. And it was cool, whatever. One time, Sophie comes. We're just hanging out, and we're upstairs, and so he comes running upstairs to me. Manda, there's a guy standing on the Bowflex. I'm like, we're all upstairs. She's like, yeah, it's a monster. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm already starting to watch Ghost Hunters and shit at this time, so I'm like, let's go investigate.
Yeah.
And we have to, you open the door to the stairs, and then it goes down, and the downstairs, and then at the end of the stairs there's a wall, and then you have to make a hard right to the basement to where it is. And I open the door, and I'm going downstairs, and Sophie's like legit worried behind me, like, be careful. And I'm like, because I kind of thought she was fucking with me too. Yeah. And she said that she saw a guy on the Bowflex, like this. Like she said she saw the back of him, and he was just a dark mass, but she says he was just saw a guy like this, with his arms out like this. Yeah. So I was like, okay, what the fuck? I got to see what she's talking about. So I kind of go down there, and I get to the bottom of the stairs, and I look to my right, and I see the Bowflex thing. And I hear Sophie, this is how I know I believe her. Because she told me, is he still like this, or did he put his arms down? And I didn't see nobody. There was nobody fucking there. But just the fact that she told me, like, what's he doing now? Like, she thought I was going to see him too, you know what I mean? So I was just like, bitch, there's nobody here.
Yeah, so, I mean,
That was in Arizona. And also in Arizona, one time we used to have some other cousins that lived out there. Bro, we would, they lived on a ranch. They had a trampoline. And we would, because we were cousins, we were maybe 15, 16. We would sleep outside on the trampoline because it was warm. It's fucking Arizona in the desert, bro. It was fucking during the summertime, too. This is a different time, obviously. And we would lay on the trampoline, bro, and I would look at the sky, the night sky, and it would be like, maybe like a cloud here or a cloud there, but it wasn't like overcast by any means. And I shit you not, bro, I would see these flashes in the fucking sky, but slight. Not like, oh, fuck, what the fuck was that? But like, have you ever been at a birthday party? Probably not recently because they don't have like those flash cameras anymore, but like at a party and then someone takes a picture over here and you see like, like that. That's what I would see up in the fucking sky, bro, in Arizona. And I just remember fucking feeling weird as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, Arizona is known for its UFO phenomena. Yeah. I mean, the Phoenix Lights are like one of the most famous.
There's a movie about that shit.
The Phoenix Lights are fucking crazy. Have you ever seen the video of the Phoenix Lights?
Uh-uh.
It's incredible. It's
Really?
It's horrifying. But it's incredible. It's just because it's like a fucking mile wide.
Fuck.
And you're like, if that is a craft.
That's huge.
That's huge. It's huge. And it's like, but it's not disrupting anything. You know, it's not just.
Was it moving? Or was it just stable?
Stationary. and it was like over the years I've found so many stories of people like seeing it, like they were driving down the highway and they see it and like they film it with their camcorder, you know, and they're like, look at this fucking thing. Or one of the stories was like a guy was like a BNSF like a railway guy was working on a train coming down through Phoenix, looks out over the night and he's like, what the fuck is that? Like, I mean, who knows? I as much as I love alien shit, dude, I don't fucking know. Like, I can speculate and be like, this is probably what this is, but I don't fucking know.
There's so many fucking theories. There's theories of people that say that aliens are just humans that are from the future that have advanced technology so much that they're just fucking coming back to check on the period of time where we were all a bunch of dumbasses.
I don't think so. I don't think that's true.
I don't think they've got all this space, all of this fucking. You know what I mean? There's no way that it's just us. I
feel like Betty and Barney Hill are with their encounter is probably the more likely.
I don't know. I don't know of that encounter.
Betty and Barney Hill are like one of the first true documented cases of alien abduction, and if you want to have a real fucking scary time, go and watch them going under hypnosis to remember the things that they forgot. Because it's fucking scary. It's like legit. It legit made me uncomfortable.
No way.
Which like not a lot of stuff makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah, like doesn't.
Rotten.com at 13 years old. Man.
Yeah. Not a lot of stuff makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But that made me uncomfortable. Like it made my skin crawl because it just was like.
Is that
because he's in his mind's eye he's experiencing what he experienced again.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck.
Is that the same case that's based on the movie The Fourth Kind? Is it that case?
No. So The Fourth Kind is a different case. It's there's actually a movie that was made. What's the guy who played Darth Vader or does Darth Vader's voice?
Oh, Simba, Mufasa.
That felt racist.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Fucking, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm blanking
it's
on
not
his
Morgan Freeman, but it's three names.
Yeah, it's
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I'm totally blanking on his name off the top of my head.
You know who knows? Siri.
Yeah.
Who voiced Darth Vader? James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. That's what it was. I was gonna say James Earl something. But one of his first big roles was playing Barney Hill in a film about the abduction about Betty and Barney Hill. And so, like, but that case is fucking, it's just terrifying because, like, Barney got, you know, there's a lot of cases that I take with a grain of salt. I'm like, that's fucking absurd. You know, like, it's funny. Yeah. It's absurd. Like, we did, like, Linda Napolitano, alien abduction story, who lived in fucking Queens. in New York, and then like she's just like this Italian lady, you know, and then she gets abducted out of her window
They
by
fucking adopted me.
dude, swear to God, she gets abducted by aliens, by Greys, and it's this whole thing. But it's just her. It's
Her
go
account.
check out the podcast. We did an episode on it. It's audio only for that one because that was pre-video. But it was called like the most Italian American alien abduction story in history, because her quotes are so funny, because like I can picture my friends who are from the East Coast saying the same shit if they got abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
Because she's like, they call me some sort of alien lady. I'm not an alien lady. I'm Linda. You know, and you're like, well, fucking, of course
Just
you're
fucking
Linda.
Linda.
I'm fucking Linda.
Keep that alien shit to yourself.
Yeah, like that. And it's just super funny. And I'm like, all right, man. But the Betty Barney Hill is just horrifying. It's just terrifying because, like, what Barney Hill allegedly, I say allegedly lightly, you know, for the sake of it, experienced is nothing short of just horrific. Of like experiencing like medical procedures being done on his body while he's awake,
My God.
and no anesthesia, no nothing. And then they use whatever technology they do. They're like, yeah, you're just gonna forget all that.
Yeah.
But then they do the regression therapy using hypnosis, and he remembers all of it, and so he gets to experience it in his head again. But like Betty experiences something just as fucked up, but she gets the lesser side of it, where they're like, oh, let's. So we're from right here.
They give her the history lesson.
Fuck yeah, they're like, yeah, we're from Zeta Reticuli. So you can see this is the Milky Way, and then this is Zeta. So you can see, it's a little bit of a, it was a bit of a drive. It was a bit of a drive. So we had to drive
Road
all the way.
trip, bitch.
We had to stop at a quick couple gas stations on
These
the way.
aliens are from Minnesota. If you guys didn't.
Yeah, dude. But it's just like, I don't know, man. That's fucking spooky, dude. I'd rather fuck with ghosts all day than fuck with anything alien.
Fucking A.
I've told it on HGO. I don't know did I tell you? I don't know if I told it on
You
this.
haven't told it here.
This is gonna sound insane, but I want you to take this as much grain of salt as possible, because I did struggle with this for a very long time.
Tell me, boo.
I genuinely believe I was abducted by aliens.
You think you were abducted by aliens?
Yeah, for the longest time, I didn't want to believe that I was. I did not, because I was like, what I experienced was a dream, and all the coincidences that have followed are just a coincidence. They're not legit. It's just the world being weird.
Can you tell us what happened?
When I was around 9 years old, I was in my aunt's backyard on a trampoline during the summer with my two cousins.
Here in Oregon?
Here in Washington, in Battleground. Back before Battleground was really like largely developed, so it was still kind of like you could still see the night sky, and it was all that stuff, and it wasn't as much light pollution. And being kids, you sleep out there on the trampoline because it's fun, and it's almost like camping, but
in Arizona, that's what I'm telling you. We legit slept on the trampoline.
It's fun, it's cool, and we're laying out there, and get all nervous. We're looking up at the stars, and I remember my cousin Brandon is on this side, my cousin Taylor's on the side, and they're related. And my cousin Taylor's older than us, and just by like a couple of years, and she points, and she's like, "Oh, look at that star!" And like the star like shoots across, and we're like, "Oh, that's really cool." And then like a few minutes later, she goes, "Oh, look at that star!" And we're looking at the star, and it goes, zoop, and we're like, "Oh, it's going that way." But then it stopped, hard stopped, and then it went. And just like, I'm like, huh, I didn't know stars can move like that. Because I had no concept of aliens.
Right.
Of like, what I'm witnessing is a fucking UFO.
Right.
But it was moving in this irregular pattern that didn't make it, and just stars and satellites don't move like that. It's just.
You going to take a shit?
Yeah. And it just was like, it just was like that. What we're seeing is something abnormal, but like I'm a kid, so I don't understand what I'm seeing.
Right.
And I eventually just go to bed. Mind you, I'm in a sleeping bag,
right,
on a trampoline, and I'm asleep, or like gonna go to sleep, and so I'm tucked in, and I wake up to the feeling of this warm breeze coming from my back, forward, like the wind, right? Which would make sense if I was sleeping on a trampoline. The wind comes through, it kind of blows up from underneath me, whatever. Yeah. But I can start to feel the ground on my feet. Like, I can feel that I am now standing. And I open my eyes, and there's a field, a large field. And if I had to guess, it's over 700 yards. Like, long. Well over. It's a big field. And it has this tall grass. It's probably about as big as this table, maybe a little taller. And it's orange and red tall grass. And it blows with the breeze as it blows. And about 30 yards, a little bit to my left, is a tree. Like you have kids. Yeah. When your kids draw trees and they have a green crayon, they draw the whole thing green. It's very bushy and it's like a broccoli. Like a piece of broccoli. But it was like that. But it was a tree, and I could see all the ridges in the tree. I could see all the stuff. And in the distance, I could see the mountain range in the distance, and it was this beautiful, spiky mountain range. I could see all the shadows and ridges, and it was purple. And then the sky was blue, kind of like the soundproofing behind you, blue. An abnormal dark blue. And I was like, well, this is a weird dream, you know? Like, I can feel everything. I can hear the wind. I can feel the wind, you know? And I go to turn my head, and I can't move. And I'm like, okay. So
you're trying to move, and you can't even do
can't go that way. So I'm like, I'm going to go this way, and I can't go that way. And so I start to panic because, like, why can't I move? Like, it's my head's stuck in this one position. And I start to panic, and I could feel this wave of calm. Not like I'm now calm. It was through my body, like sedated calm. Just through my body, calm. And I blink, and about 20 yards, there's this, just instantly, there's this silver disc thing in front of me with its 4 little landing legs, and it's pretty big. And I blink again, and there's a hatch that's open, and there's a bright white light coming from it. And I blink again, and there's these 2, if I had to guess, 7-foot tall, gray beings with these black eyes. And what was so weird was that when I looked into their eyes, because their eyes looked black, when you look into them, it was like looking at TV static. That's the best way to describe it. Like, but they're black. But it was like looking into TV static. And I'm looking at them, and I can start to feel this pressure in the sides of my head. Not in my ears, but just in the sides of my head. And it was like when you scan through the radios really fast, and you're kind of catching all those different languages, you know? And it was just different languages, but it was like a sound like there was hundreds of languages playing at once. Until eventually, English clicks in. And then they go like, they just stare at me, and they go, "We'll come back when the time is right." And the dude reaches out, and he touches me on the forehead. And then I woke up.
On the trampoline?
On the trampoline.
Shut the fuck up.
And my brother was like, "Why are you out of your sleeping bag?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." My brother came to pick me up. So I was like, "I don't know. I must have just got warm or whatever, you know." Years goes by. And I watched the movie Signs for the very first time. God. And I'm like, this movie's pretty spooky.
It's behind.
Yeah, like, this movie's pretty spooky. And there's a specific scene where
there's also a cornfield in there.
Yeah, there's a specific scene where it's Joaquin Phoenix is in a closet, and he's watching footage from Mexico.
Yeah.
At a birthday party.
Yeah.
And this fucking entity runs across the alley. And I remember panicking. Like, full-blown panicking. Not like I'm afraid of the movie, but I am... Something in the back of my head is like, you have seen that before, and you didn't like it when you saw it before, and you need to not see that again. And I just could not figure out why until eventually it clicked into my head, and I ran to my mom, and she's like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "I have to tell you this, but I don't know how to tell you this." And then I begin to tell it to her, and she just gets this very cold look in her face of this like, "What the fuck?" And I don't think about it for years after. But for the longest time, I was afraid of things that I couldn't see beyond a door or beyond a curtain or beyond whatever. Because I was like, what if they are going to come back?
Right.
What if they are going to come back right now?
Right.
And I don't know it. And they're going to be on the other side of this fucking thing.
Right.
And what's going to happen if they do get me?
Right.
And I thought about this for years until I get to high school. And like by the time I got to high school, it kind of had faded out.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it as much. And I didn't, it was, forethought. And I'm with my buddy, and we were talking about alien stuff. And he goes, "I have to tell you the story. Because when I was around 10 years old, I was sleeping here at the house."
Your buddy told you the story?
Yeah. And he goes, "And I woke up. Well, I thought I woke up, but I was standing in this field.
Shut the fuck
And about
up.
25, 30 yards to my right
There was a tree.
is a green tree." And I go, and let me tell you, and then I go, "So what? There's red and yellow grass that's super tall?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "It has purple mountains?" And he's like, "Yeah." And we started to get fucking spooked out. And we're like, "You experienced the same thing I experienced." And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. A few months later, I meet a homie who played in a band up in Seattle. And I was like, "Hey, can you make album artwork for," like, we're just, we're all just shitty high school bands. Like, "Hey, can you make album artwork for me and the homies to do this, do our record or whatever?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he makes the same fucking scene that we experienced without us ever telling him the story.
A third party now?
A third party. And I go, "Brad, where did you come up with that?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know. I had a weird dream."
Shut the fuck up. So 3 people have dreamt this scene, this scenery.
Yeah.
Exact same.
And I still don't understand what that means. But I just know that I don't like it.
Right.
I know that it makes me uncomfortable. And it makes me very nervous. So I'm like fidgeting with my hands. It makes me very nervous.
Like
And
even
like,
today.
Even today, it makes me very nervous. I do not like it. Whenever I see popular media of like films and stuff with grays, it makes me very uncomfortable. And like I can watch other alien stuff. I can watch like Men in Black and stuff. And like have a great old time. But when it comes to hyper realistic depictions of grays, it makes me queasy and makes me feel really weird. And I don't like it. It makes me feel like I'm caught in a trap, or like makes me feel like I know something that I shouldn't know.
Right.
And I don't know when the other shoe's gonna drop.
Dude, shut the fuck
up. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. I told this story at HGO a couple years ago, where I was like, I'm hesitant to tell this story because of the stigma that follows it. But now I'm like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know what I experienced.
Right.
I have 2 other friends who experienced the exact same fucking thing that I did. Who knows if it was at the same exact time or not?
Right. Oh,
But
that's fucking true.
Who knows? But my biggest fear is why?
Right. Why us?
Why did we experience what we experienced? And then why did, like, what does that mean of like when the time is right, we're going to come back?
Did the other buddies also
I don't remember. It's been over a decade.
Yeah.
But it's like, what the fuck does that mean?
What the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean? And
hey, y'all don't gotta come back, you know what I'm saying?
no, there was times, dude, where I would be like, and since then I've experienced other UFO phenomena, and it was like, it was like, as I was watching, I was like, is this the time?
Right.
Is this the time?
You're thinking like as it's happening, like, well, here it is.
It's like, am I just gonna become a statistic of a missing person?
Right.
And then no one's gonna know. But meanwhile, I'm off. Something's happening.
Motherfucker.
And I fucking hate it. Hate it. I do not like it.
You'll take me with you, motherfucker. If they come back, hey, can we make a pit stop? We gotta pick up Mondo. Bro, that's fucking insane. Are you shitting me?
No. It genuinely makes me very uncomfortable to talk about.
Yeah.
But I'm drink a couple beers. So I'm like,
that seems like a good time to. We're 2 hours deep. That seems like a good time to go ahead and fucking call it on this fucking podcast. We're gonna have to have you back again and get more beers in you. We'll see what else we can see what else we can squeeze out of you next time. Fucking one time, bro. Before we get out of here, one more time into this camera. Where are we following
you can follow me on Instagram at IHuntTheHaunted. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/IHuntTheHaunted. I stream 4 days a week. I stream, I stream Mondays for Monster Mondays. I do all horror stream on Mondays. I do Tuesdays are more like GTA stuff. Thursdays are kind of open party, and then Thursdays are my general like do whatever we want to do kind of stream of like
kind of freestyle.
Yeah, freestyle. I'll be like I usually do an opportunity to have people vote and usually choose rage-inducing games.
Rage-inducing games.
Yes, rage-inducing games, and they have me get as pissed as possible. You have a whole soundboard that you guys can play with and play noises and tell me that I suck ass and get me even more pissed. It's the best. Go check it out. But go and follow the Comedy Chaos Network on YouTube, youtube.com/Comedy Chaos Network. Go check out all the podcasts on there, on the video podcasts, and then you can check out Haunts, Graves, and Omens.
Yes, sir.
On every single platform, audio-wise, and then on Instagram at HGO Podcast, TikTok on HGO Podcast, and then the Doc, the Comedy Podcast.
Also on TikTok.
It's also on TikTok, which is the Doc Comedy Pod, which the clips from us being on here were very drunk. Well, I was very drunk.
I was there, too.
I was fucking drunk.
I was singing your harmonies, brother.
That was gnarly. That's on there, and you can find all that under the huge umbrella of the Comedy Chaos Network.
Yes, sir. And also, stay tuned for the HGO Live. There's details still being hashed out, right? But that's to be foreseen still. But
yes.
I'm fucking looking forward to that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Fred, thank you fucking so much for coming on, dude. I appreciate it every time you come on. Shout-outs to Marty. Shout-outs to Charles. Shout-outs to Tay as well. Everybody from the Comedy Chaos Network, HGO, and the Doc.
These guys suck, dude.
Shout-out Profiles, my main man
Hell
behind
yeah,
the
dude.
scenes. This is the Go Deeper Podcast, baby. Your mama's favorite podcast. You can catch us across all podcast streaming platforms. You can get your merch on Amazon. I'm not delivering it. Some other fucking idiot is. Until next time, thank you guys. Take care of yourselves.